WSCF Vero Beach, Christian FM.
Vero Nation Network and Christian FM Sports presents Countdown to Kickoff. Brought to you by Cap's Pizza and Pub.
3, 2, 1.
Get ready for Vero football. Christian FM Sports brings you the insights into the Fighting Indians with Matt Paris, Bobby Paris, Ronnie Self, Gary Paris. Now, the voice of the Fighting Indians, Paul Tipton.
2 games are in the books, and so far your Fighting Indians have passed the test. The next challenge awaits in the form of Port St. Lucie. Hey, Vero Nation, your Fighting Indians are hosting the Jaguars in Week 3 of high school football. I'm Paul Tipton. Last week, the Indians didn't get off to the best start, but a blocked punt set up the scoring, and Vero never looked back. While the offense is putting up solid numbers, it's the defense that is starting to really show something special. Starting with that D-line, who had several sacks and was capped by a punishing hit by Elijah Anderson, who was able to scoop and score to end the night. Now Port St. Lucie, a team that has seen a remarkable turnaround. The Jags are 2-0 and would love a signature win at the Citrus Bowl tonight. We've got the Christian FM team here ready to get set for tonight's contest. Gary's away at UCF for a game tonight, so Matt will join me in the booth. Down on the sideline, it'll be Ronnie Self along with Derek West. Bobby Paris will be here as well. Let's get started with our head coach, Lenny Jankowski. Matt standing by with him to talk about last week's win and get set for tonight's matchup against the Jaguars. Matt?
Well, Coach Jay, before we talk about tonight's game against the Jaguars, I would like to get your thoughts on last week's very impressive 34-0 win against a pretty good Palm Beach Gardens. Let's start with that offensive effort.
Yes, thank you. We were excited, obviously, coming away from that game with the 34-0 win. Going into it, had some scout film on Gardens, and I was very impressed with them, especially coming off their big win the week before against Atlantic High School, who is ultra talented, obviously one of the premier teams and year in and year out in South Florida. And so that previous week Gardens had an overtime win against Atlantic, and so had a chance to study that film and look at that and recognize that Gardens had some good players and were well coached, and all the things that get you a little nervous going into it and in that preparation phase of what we do. And so we had a very good week, and we were interrupted, in preparation that week with some lightning delays and just some interruptions with practice with weather. And what I was most impressed with our players was their ability to stay focused throughout those delays and try to use all that as a learning tool, just because it oftentimes happens here on Friday nights, so. We did the best we could with that, and I felt like we where the physical reps may have been lacking, I felt like we made up for with mental reps, and really just had a great night offensively. There were some things that stalled some drives. I think we finished with 399 yards of offense, which is always I'm not a big stat guy when it comes to yardage, because as we've talked about, the object is to get across that goal line. But all that being said, I've coached a bunch of games where it never came close to 400 yards of offense. So all in all, it was a good night of offense. I typically will look at each individual drive and see what made that drive successful or what stalled that drive. And in this game, in the first half, we got the ball and had a 15-play drive that first drive. And in that drive, we had 4 offensive penalties, had a touchdown called back, a big pass play from Tyler Aronson to Vandravius Jacobs, and everything looked clean and good. And then you get a penalty and it's called back, and so obviously that's stuff that happens in the trenches. You don't get to see a lot of times as it's happening live, and so that gets called back. And like I said, we had 3 other offensive penalties on the drive, and started the possession on our own 12 or 13 yard line. So we drove down and had it going pretty well, and then ended up having to punt after 15 plays, which is not that common of a deal. But what we did, and this is the other thing, and we talk about this, it seems like every week how it's a 3-phase game. So although the average fan or even us as coaches and players, you're disappointed that drive stalls, we flip the field, we punt it from about midfield, pin them about at the 10-yard line, and they've got to start in not favorable field position for them, but very good field position for us. And we've got them backed up. Defense has played great, and so we got it rolling. And we score on the next 2 possessions, next 2 offensive possessions, get it rolling offensively. But it was a good night. I felt like we did a good job staying balanced. We threw the ball pretty well and completed at a high percentage. And then in the second half, we came out and saw some things, there at halftime and talked about some things, made a few minor adjustments, and came out and ran the ball at that first possession of the second half, and stayed on the ground pretty regular throughout. It was a run-dominated offensive drive that finished with a touchdown, and again got it rolling. And so, yeah, I'm pleased with where we're at offensively. There's a lot of things that still need to be cleaned up. As pleased as I am, I'm even more excited about where I think we're headed offensively. Because I think there's a lot of good things happening. I think and if you talk about the specifics of the offensive position groups, I'm pleased with the offensive line, but know and understand that they can continue to get better and clean some things up on assignment, on execution, on finish, all those kinds of things. I think we're getting very good quarterback play. I think we're getting good play from the skill positions. We had, I think, 3 big-time drops in the game that, again, when you talk about those total yardage, drops, that's another category that can be, can be very subjective, so to speak. But I think in this case, those were, I think if you talk to all parties involved, including the 3 different receivers, those were balls that were put right where they needed to be, and ended up coming up on the short end of those. Again, that could have finished with at least a couple of them with more points and definitely some more yardage. So, again, I'm pleased, but know that we've got room for improvement, and we'll hope to play a little better this week than we did last.
Well, that ability to make adjustments and have the athletes to be able to not just physically but mentally are able to do that, and that is a gift we have here at Vero Beach High School. That's Coach Lenny Jankowski. I'm Dr. Matt. We'll be right back.
The Tripp family, GNC, and the Miracle Mile are crazy about the Vero Beach Fighting Indians and their fans. Joe and his staff have over 2 decades in the supplement business and know all about sports nutrition, along with vitamins, herbs, weight loss, and wellness products. GNC also offers meal replacements and testosterone support and tailors their products to meet individual needs. 562-2450.
Christian FM thanks Paris Family Chiropractic for their support. Dr. Matt Paris is a longtime resident of Vero Beach and a former quarterback for the Fighting Indians. Just like our Fighting Indians work hard for the win, Dr. Paris works hard for a patient's well-being. From proper alignment to good nutrition, Dr. Paris helps patients achieve the win. Paris Family Chiropractic. When the spine is in line, everything is fine. 299-4649 or parisfamilychiro.com.
Ohana Water Systems is proud to partner with Christian FM. Hi, I'm Mikey, owner of Ohana Water Systems. We've created a technology that takes city and even well water and turn it into drinkable, pH-balanced, remineralized alkaline water throughout the entire house. Our system also protects the plumbing and appliances from hard water damage. No obligation consultations and water testing available. Online at ohanawatersystems.com.
More Countdown to Kickoff by Cap's Pizza and Pub.
Well, welcome back. Coach, last week your defense pitched a shutout, only allowing, and these are the stats that I saw, 1 yard of rushing in the entire game. Pretty impressive.
Gosh, we're just, yeah, thank you. And I'm very proud of our defense, and it's just been, come Friday night, a lot of fun to watch. Even as a coach, it seems like I spend a lot of time being there, being our players' biggest fan on the sideline and watching our defense fly around because, in preparation, especially, when you have a different opponent every Friday night, that week of preparation, there's not a lot of full contact. I mean, just the way you practice, and we talked about, last week and the delays with weather and lightning and all that you do, and so Friday night is really a time to turn it loose and watch these guys play at full speed and just play with such a tenacity that it really gets you excited even talking about it, because it is what we call team defense, and there's not one particular guy that is doing anything any different than the rest. And it's just, obviously we've got guys that are super talented and these team leaders that have, have happened with guys like Keyshawn Campbell and Kesney Brown and, these guys that just have started off this season with playing so well and really being not just the leaders of the defense, but the leaders of the team as well. And so it's just been fun to watch. But I think we're playing well in all three levels of the defense. The D-line, you talk about Kesney Brown and Gene Galbert and Matthew Bacon and Warren Perry and Antoine Montgomery. I mean, these guys are all in there doing their thing. And then that second level of linebackers with, Keyshawn Campbell and Kevin Pollak and Bucky Rojas and DJ Williams. These guys are just flying around. They're great athletes and love the physicality part of the game. And then on the back end, we're getting some great leadership back there, I think, with, Cam Perez there at free safety and our corners playing well. And then obviously the big hit by Elijah Anderson. Coach Mata has a point system for, defensive plays, and there's a point system for big hits and turnovers and caused fumbles and recovered fumbles and defensive scores. And so there's this grid of points, and I think that was a record number of points on one particular play just because of all that happened on that big hit that Elijah Anderson had there in the second half. So we got a lot of guys playing really well. We've got a nice rotation of guys. Our defensive staff is working really hard in preparation and just couldn't be more pleased. The shutout is always the explanation point, but it's been steady progress and a lot of defensive production.
Well, Coach, when you start looking at that as far as those big hits and the safeties coming down and doing their job and all that, it means that the defense is really seeing the ball well. And that really starts, it seems like, with the coaches, giving them the right scheme, knowing what to key on. And, a few new coaches there, but they really look like they're really seeing it well.
Yeah, I think our kids have taken to it very well. And that's something, when you're in transition, whether it's with the staff or personnel or whatever it is that you're doing, you worry about that. You wonder, is this going to be a good fit? And really just, like you say, I'm hats off to Coach Mata for, jumping in there as our D coordinator this year and working so well together with Coach Rahal and Coach Bethel and Coach Floyd and those guys that have been here for a while. And it's just been a nice mix, a nice, they've gelled very well together. And then I think what it all comes down to is our players. We're as coaches, we can sit here and do all these radio shows and talk anything we want, but as coaches, we're only as good as our players are, and we've got some really good players, and they're a lot of fun to work with and a lot of fun to coach, and so it makes for fun Friday nights.
Well, when you got good players, you put them in good positions and you teach them well, good things happen. We saw that last week with a 34-0 win over Palm Beach Gardens. I'm Dr. Matt. I'm along with Coach Lane Jankowski. We'll be right back. Listening Countdown to Kickoff on your Christian FM.
The Tripp family, GNC, and the Miracle Mile are crazy about the Vero Beach Fighting Indians and their fans. Joe and his staff have over 2 decades in the supplement business and know all about sports nutrition, along with vitamins, herbs, weight loss, and wellness products. GNC also offers meal replacements and testosterone support and tailors their products to meet individual needs. 562-2450.
A family business for 25 years, Total Golf Cart supports the Fighting Indians and their fans. They're the authorized club cart dealer and love to assist buyers to find the golf cart that best meets their needs. They offer both new and used club cars. And Total Golf Cart also has a full service department at 1140 South US 1 in Vero Beach or at TotalGolfCart.com.
A septic system is only as good as the installation and maintenance. Reliable Septic is the name known along the coast for being the professionals who install and service these systems for both residential and commercial uses. They'll determine the on-site needs and design considerations for a complete wastewater treatment system, thanks to Reliable Septic Service. 772-562-4242.
More Countdown to Kickoff by Cap's Pizza and Pub.
Well, Coach, the Florida High School Athletic Association each year makes rule changes, try to improve the game, try to keep the kids protected, or just makes a little more of an emphasis on certain rules. What are some of those changes we've seen so far this year?
Well, I think those points of emphasis at the last several years have always been safety number one and sportsmanship. You know, there's 1A and 1B. There's been an emphasis with safety and sportsmanship. But some of the specific rules you're talking about, you know, the blind side block is something that happens really, you know, in all levels of football. But if that's the category that you're talking about and how specifically that happens in high school football, it seems, and when it's called or when it's been called against us, has been most specifically in the return game, whether it be punt return or kick return. And a lot of times you have guys, you know, going in different directions, and you'll have a blocker coming from, you know, from one side of the field to another, a guy that may be chasing. And so, you know, they don't want the defenseless player to, you know, obviously run higher risk for injury. So you understand where that's coming from. So that's one specific rule, the blind side block. The other is, and again, this is specific to high school in the state of Florida, is the block behind the play, not the block behind the back or below the waist or anything like that. It's specifically behind the play, so that if the ball carrier is out in front, there is to be no contact in blocking fashion with a guy that's behind or trailing the play, and that's one that's tough to coach because, you know, as we know, players come in all different shapes and sizes, and ball carriers come in all different levels of speed. And so I've seen it, you know, just over the years and multiple times a game, it seems that, you know, players are caught from the back. And so you just got to, you know, try to use your best judgment and keep that, you know, clean and above board. So that's a specific rule. And then another one that's new this year, and I think this, you know, people may not think of this as a safety deal, but I surely think it can be related. And I do like the rule because it happens in every phase of football, you know, after high school, is the ability for the quarterback to throw the ball away once he leaves the tackle box. The quarterback can now throw the ball away as long as he's left the tackle box and the ball carries past the line of scrimmage. Last week, we were called for intentional grounding. It was the correct call. What happened is our quarterback did get outside the tackle box, but when he threw the ball away, it didn't go past the line of scrimmage. So since it landed behind the line of scrimmage, we were flagged for it, and it was a legitimate penalty. So that's just another rule, and I think that's wise because, you know, our players are students of the game. They watch college football, they watch NFL football, and they see and understand, you know, the quarterback's leaving the pocket and throw the ball into the stands or whatever they do to get rid of it. And again, the safety side of it is that, you know, you keep them from taking an unnecessary hit, and you live to see another play. And so, you know, those are some of the ones that jump out at me. Again, we're constantly, you know, especially coming out of a game from last week where we were, I think somebody said that there were 31 penalties in the game, 16 on us and 15 on our opponent. So that's got to be some kind of, you know, 2022 record. But So we're constantly looking to clean things up and do things a little better, and I'd certainly take the blame for those penalties and hopefully have a little cleaner game this week.
Well, Coach, there's always the intent of the law or the rule and then how it's applied, and that one where you see the blocking behind. The intent is obviously, just if it's unnecessary, just don't make the contact. But yeah, like we saw Dre run a guy down this year just on the kickoff for the punt team. So anyway, that's thank you for your insight on that, Coach. Appreciate it. We'll be right back. You're listening to Countdown to Kickoff on your Christian FM.
Hi, JW from Barker Air Conditioning. These hot and humid days sure do take a toll on your air conditioning system. Barker Air Conditioning offers our ESA annual or semi-annual maintenance plans to keep things in good working order. Barker Air Conditioning, servicing Indian River County since 1959.
Since 1980, the Village Beach Market has been that local store on the beach filled with friends that always has something for everyone. And we've been Fighting Indian fans for generations. From fresh baked goods to prepared foods to chef-inspired lunches and dinners, our slogan says it best, simply better. We're online at villagebeachmarket.com.
Hi, Derek West here from the Genesis Church of Vero Beach. We are proud supporters of Fighting Indians football and Vero Beach athletics. We invite you to join us this Sunday at 9:15 for our services. If you can't join us in person, please visit us online at gcvero.com. Genesis Church of Vero Beach, place of love where honest men are known and unafraid to love the hardest stone. Visit us at gcvero.com.
More Countdown to Kickoff by Caps Pizza and Pub.
Matt Paris here with Coach Jankowski. Coach, Vero is taking on Port St. Lucie tonight, the Jaguars. They're coming in 2-0. Two very good wins, one against a team out of Colorado who was last year's Colorado State champs. So let's take a look at their offense. What can we expect?
Well, my first time really getting to see their running back, number 22, on film, and I've been hearing about them, in different meetings with Coach Dent, their head football coach at Port St. Lucie, has raved about their running back for the last several years. I think he's been a starter since he's been a freshman, so he's logged a lot of minutes, and you can tell. I mean, he's the focal point of their offense for sure. But just as soon as you get zeroed in on him, their quarterback does some good things, not just throwing the ball, but also with his feet. So I would consider him somewhat of a dual threat, and so we've got to be, he's got to be accounted for, and they've got good skill guys around. So I think they have the ability to do some things, but I think if you probably pressed them on it and talk to Coach Den and their offensive staff, I think that the real deal is they're able to run the football, and that's always something that, as an offense, if you can do that and have the ability to run the ball, then you're going to keep yourself in games and obviously win some good games as they have here early in the season. But I think, if we were just without getting specific on personnel, I think they're a balanced offense. They run a variety of formations. I would consider them, for the most part, a spread team, but they'll get into some two-back and even get under center a little bit. So, we've got, the same challenges that we have each and every week in preparation of, making sure that we get lined up, making sure we play discipline, continue to make improvements, get the coverage calls in, and play just good, sound team defense. But Port St. Lucie definitely, we have some challenges because of, not just their personnel, but their scheme as well.
That's Coach Jankowski giving us his insight on the offense of tonight's opponent, Port St. Lucie. Coach, their defense, let's take a look at them. I know they've had a few pretty special defensive backs come out of there lately.
Yeah, I watched their defense, and so we have a couple games of them and get an opportunity to get a scout on them and look at them, and they just they really do a lot of different things, and again, hats off to their coaching staff. Gotten to know Coach Matthews. He's their defensive coordinator and been friends for a long time, and he's been at several different schools and always does a great job. And he's been at Port St. Lucie now for several years with Coach Dent, And, you're going to see a variety of not just coverages on the back end, but just different fronts as well. They have the ability to bring pressure from all over the place. And have a lot of different scheme, and the versatility, I think, is the thing that jumps out at me. And they've got guys that can play in all three levels of their defense. Guys that at sometimes will line up at defensive end, and then the next series or the next game can play linebacker, and even on the back end. So I think that speaks for their athleticism, and also their ability as a coaching staff to move guys around and put them in position to have success.
Well, success is definitely what we would like for our fans and for our Indians. So, Coach, as always, thank you for sitting down with us. We'll let you get back to the players, and good luck tonight. We'll be right back. You listen to Countdown to Kickoff on your Christian FM.
The Tripp family, GNC, and the Miracle Mile are crazy about the Vero Beach Fighting Indians and their fans. Joe and his staff have over 2 decades in the supplement business and know all about sports nutrition, along with vitamins, herbs, weight loss, and wellness products. GNC also offers meal replacements and testosterone support and tailors their products to meet individual needs. 562-2450.
Air Docs of the Treasure Coast, cooling specialists, are Fighting Indians football supporters. They know how important it is to have a cooling system that can stand up to our Florida heat. Air Docs offers a full range of cooling and heating services, including repairs, tune-ups, and systems maintenance. Online at airdocsac.com and Facebook.
Cap's Pizza and Pub, a proud sponsor of the Fighting Indians and Christian FM, serving Vero for over 35 years. Cap's offers Italian cuisine, including pizza, strombolis, calzones, hot and cold subs, plus wings. A family-owned and operated business, John and his staff are happy to serve. Cap's Pizza and Pub, 725 27th Avenue Southwest, Vero Beach, 772-770-2277 or capspizzamenu.com.
More Countdown to Kickoff by Cap's Pizza and Pub.
Welcome back as we continue to count down to kickoff. Currently in a weather delay. We're trying to figure out when they're going to let the guys get out on the field. The horn went off somewhere just shortly after 5 o'clock. And with that, no one can be out on the field. So until we get the all-clear signal, which we haven't gotten yet, we're just kind of in a holding pattern right now. So we're just going to continue on as is, and hopefully we'll get the all-clear signal here before too long. I'm Paul Tipton along with Dr. Matt Paris. And Matt, Dad's over in Orlando tonight with UCF as they're taking on Louisville tonight. That's going to be a big game, and hopefully, they're going to get that game in probably no matter what, but hopefully they'll get started on time because they're dealing with the same thing we're dealing with.
100%, and a little shout-out to the Knights. Go Knights, and good luck up there, big dog.
Oh, absolutely, and we always wish them guys the best. It's a great team over there. All right, Matt, last week, the Fighting Indians, 34-0. Good win for the Fighting Indians against a team that we thought would produce a bigger challenge for the Indians. Turned out not so much. I mean, it was, you start to go, the questions start to become, how good is this team? And I don't know that we can find that answer out just yet because you just don't know enough about these teams going in. You think, okay, a team like Palm Beach Gardens, it's traditionally a good program. Are they a good program right now or a good team right now or not? We don't know.
No, you don't, and that's the thing about high school because every year there's graduating class, and how good was that graduating class? We're basing that off of the fact that they beat Atlantic. Atlantic is always a good team down south. That's one of the teams you want on your schedule because, number one, they have that high rating.
Right.
They're always going to produce athletes, and it gives you a good barometer for your team. Well, goes into overtime, and Palm Beach Gardens puts 38 points on Atlantic, which is a good team. So then you think, okay, this is going to be a really good challenge. And when you literally pitch a shutout and your offense puts up 34 points, and we can talk about that a little bit later, but we probably should have had a lot more.
Yeah.
That begs the question, are we that good, or are they not that good, or are we just kind of in that holding pattern right now as the rain to say we don't want to make any predictions yet?
Right. No, and I think you just like Coach will say, a lot of times you think this is just coach talk, but it is really you take one game at a time and you see how you play it out. And with against Palm Beach Gardens, I mean, Vero just played it out very well. And like you said, we should have had probably more points. Not that you want to try to rub it in. It's just the only thing that really stopped Vero last Friday night was themselves with the penalties.
100%. And a little frustrating, obviously, for everybody, for the fans, for the coaches, for the players. Everybody wants to execute and do well. And when you see when you go back and watch some of the film, the frustrating part is on the young men that come off the field, because I'm there, and they're going, Coach, I don't know how they're calling a hold. And then you look at the film, and you still wonder, how are they calling the hold, or how are they calling that block? And it's a little frustrating, but nonetheless, they were able to make the adjustments and still put 34 points on the board.
So coming into this season, we have a new quarterback, Tyler Aronson. And, one of the things that you hope with a quarterback is that not only can he be a talented quarterback, can he be a leader on the field? And sometimes it takes one of those signature moments to find out if he's really going to be a leader. And last week I saw him make a run, Matt, and I think that might have done it for him.
100%. And it was one of those RPOs, run-pass options. And when you got a young man like Tyler Aronson, you're going to see a lot more of that. He's got one read, one way. He did that last week, and it was crazy. You can see he was just he just made his read on the linebacker. It opened up, and he goes through, and you can see how special of an athlete this young man is. And I tell you what, who was probably more excited than anybody was Coach Lenny Jankowski on the sideline, watching what his very talented junior quarterback can do.
How about Quincy Rogers and his play?
Oh, my goodness. This guy right here, you come in, and here was the knock on Quincy as he came in. Tremendous athlete, great young man, high character, can run, had speed, but his catching ability was always one of those things that was just a little bit on question. Well, he has worked his tail off the last couple of years, and he is fantastic. As we saw him coming out of the backfield, catching 7 passes, coming out of the backfield with 15 runs.
Yeah.
When you look at, if you get 50 plays and the young man gets 22, that's a lot of that's like saying, hey, here's the horse we're going to ride, and let's go after it.
Well, speaking of the horse that you can ride, and Vondravius Jacobs, I mean, you and I were talking about this earlier. I mean, we literally could have a whole segment of highlights for him every week because, I mean, he just does some amazing things. He works very hard at his craft, and the results show on the field every Friday night.
It certainly does. And part of that working on the craft is not just in the physical aspect of it. It's the mental. It's understanding the game. It's understanding the linebackers. It's understanding the safeties. It's understanding the coverages to know where they are. And sometimes when he makes those cuts, he already knows in his head, hey, I've got this field open.
Yeah.
That last one, the last week, where he catches the slant and spins back out and just outruns everyone. Beautiful play on an RPO, but then he does the rest.
Yeah, he is definitely a very talented player. FSU is looking forward to having him up there next year. But in the meantime, we get to enjoy him every Friday night right here through this football season. We're going to step aside. We'll come back and talk about that defense that pitched a shutout last week. We got more to come right after this.
Hi, JW from Barker Air Conditioning. These hot and humid days sure do take a toll on your air conditioning system. Barker Air Conditioning offers our ESA annual or semi-annual maintenance plans to keep things in good working order. Barker Air Conditioning, servicing Indian River County since 1959.
A family business for 25 years, Total Golf Cart supports the Fighting Indians and their fans. They're the authorized club card dealer and love to assist buyers to find the golf cart that best meets their needs. They offer both new and used club cars. And Total Golf Cart also has a full service department at 1140 South US 1 in Vero Beach or at TotalGolfCart.com.
The mission of the Fighting Indian is excellence, teamwork, and consistency. The same holds true for the McCall Agency, Inc., a local independent agency and broker and 4th-generation resident of Vero Beach. To learn more about their insurance products and risk management, Christian FM supporter Ron McCall can be reached at 772-473-6856, and their site is McCallagencyinc.com. Proudly serving the Treasure Coast since 1956.
More Countdown to Kickoff by Caps Pizza and Pub.
So last week, Vero Beach pitched a shutout against Palm Beach Gardens. 34-0 is the final score. And we'll talk about the what really capped off the night with that defense. But, Matt, when I started watching some of these highlight clips, I'm watching 11 guys flying to the ball. I mean, sack after sack after sack. I mean, it started up front. I mean, literally, it was a group sack at one moment.
It did. I mean, you talk about we thought that the coaches thought that we had an advantage. Our defensive line had an advantage over their offensive line. That was coming into the game. We saw some stuff, and without a doubt. And then when there's blood in the water, you can see it. And they were all getting after it. It wasn't just one guy. You can see it's multiple guys getting in on the sack or the hit or whatever have you. And you talk about getting all the red hats to the helmet or to the ball. That's what we saw.
Yeah, well, Kesney Brown had 3 sacks in the first half by himself. But then also we saw Montgomery. I mean, he was just a man on one possession there that was possessed, and he said, no way are you stopping me. I'm getting to the quarterback.
Well, so what you have in Vero right now is you've got great coaching, all right, with Randy Bethel, who's been coaching the D-line, Teddy Floyd. You've got Bill Mata putting the scheme together, but you go technique with determination and then talent. That's a dangerous combination.
Yeah, and then we saw, what almost looked like it was going to be a safety, and Matt Bacon got shot off that left side of the defensive edge there and got right. Literally, I think he was untouched. I mean, somebody said, "Hey, go ahead."
He did. It was a slant to the inside, and no one touched him. And the running back, maybe he was his guy to whoever. No one blocked him, and of course Matthew was like gobbling it up, doing his job, getting wide, making the sack, and coming that close. Just inches from a safety.
And then, of course, late in the ball game, you got a running back for Palm Beach Gardens who was doing a sweep to the right, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, comes this black jersey, a blur, as we said on Tuesday night during our show, that the blur made a vicious hit, and then it was a scoop and score.
Oh, my gosh. It was a perfect read. His job was to fill that hole. That was the safety's job on that. And he picked it up quick, and he went right to where he was supposed to be in a little inside out as he was coming down the field. And that running back turned the corner and hit what they call X-box.
Yeah.
And he literally ran through him, taking his soul with him, and the ball popped out. And he was able to stay on his feet, pick up the ball, and run down with a scoop and score.
Yeah, Elijah Anderson, a.k.a. Xbox, was able to use his booster on that play and went in there and made a nice, big, clean hit and was able to jar the ball loose, picked it up. It bounced right to him. He scooped it up for 30 yards, and it was a score for the defense. But what a great exclamation point on the night for that defense that did not allow – I think they had something like 7, 3 and outs on the night. The week before it was 8.
Yeah, we had talked about in the interview with Lenny about the defense able to see the ball. It's one thing to know where your assignment is and to do it, or to do all the moves on the defensive line, but you kind of lose where the ball is. The defense right now, they feel very comfortable with Bill Mata's scheme, and when you do that, when you're comfortable, you're flying to the ball.
Yeah.
You can play with speed, and it's that what we call on defense that reckless abandonment,
Yep.
and that's what you're seeing. And they are hitting, and once you see one person start hitting another, it becomes contagious. So much so that when you see our other safety, Cam Perez, on basically a first down saving tackle. He did the same thing. Maybe not quite as vicious as Xbox, but was able to do it, and that's telling me that the defense is seeing the ball, and that bodes well for Vero Beach.
And in case you're wondering, Elijah Anderson is coming from a line of other safeties, by the way. You had Emmanuel, and then you had Equan, so now you got Elijah.
And all of them hitters. And none of them over probably 170 pounds, but they hit you like they were 210 pounds.
I mean, on my chart, I got Elijah, at 5'8", 150 pounds.
I promise you, that guy last week from Palm Beach Gardens, that didn't feel like a 150-pound hit.
No. And thankfully, he was okay, by the way. He did get up, but that was just a
clean hit.
It was a clean hit. Yeah, it was a great hit. So, like I said, a good exclamation point on the night. We're going to step aside. We got more Countdown to Kickoff coming up right after this.
Hi, JW from Barker Air Conditioning. These hot and humid days sure do take a toll on your air conditioning system. Barker Air Conditioning offers our ESA annual or semi-annual maintenance plans to keep things in good working order. Barker Air Conditioning, servicing Indian River County since 1959.
Jeremiah's Italian Ice loves our Vero Beach Fighting Indians. Jeremiah's offers over 40 flavors of Italian ice and 2 flavors of soft serve ice cream. The showcase of the menu is layering the two together for their gelati. Located off State Road 60 in the Marshalls Plaza, Jeremiah's Italian Ice. Live life to the coolest.
Molinari Pools is a proud supporter of Fighting Indians football and Christian FM. A family-owned and operated business, the Molinari family, longtime members of this community. Joel Molinari, a former Fighting Indian, loves serving the Treasure Coast residents from pool cleaning to repairs to pool remodeling. Molinari Pools. Love people, love
running back Quincy Rogers. Quincy, man, it's good to have the season back and especially have you back out on the field. What was it like, your first steps back out on the field?
It was good. I got the ball a lot last game, and I was hoping that I can do stuff with the ball as I did last year and just translate to this year. And I got on the field, and I just carried the team to a victory.
I was looking at the stats from last week's game against Gardens, and I believe between both rushing and receiving, I think you touched the ball 22 times for like 137 yards or something like that, man. And what, one touchdown?
Yes, sir. I could have had 2 touchdowns, but Coach had took me out because I was too hot. So I told him not to take me out when I'm getting hot like that because I feel like I can score the ball like anytime, anyway, and I feel like I can get the job done.
Tell me about this team, man. Here you and I are out at practice right now talking about the games and stuff, but practice is really where the work gets done, man. And I'm really impressed to see what you guys do during practice and especially after practice. You guys put in extra work.
Yes, sir. It just thank the Coach Zoe, really, because last year we didn't have no running back coach because obviously Coach Jordan had passed away, but Coach Zoe stepped in. He's doing a good job, and he just keeping the guys up and keeping me up because the guys look up to me because I'm a leader. And Coach Zoe, he just pushed us every day throughout the week, and then Fridays for it can just be easy.
That's another thing. It's real easy for us to look at you guys as just, snotty-nosed teenagers, right? And go, oh, those guys, they don't know responsibility or anything like that. But if people had a chance to come out, and watch practice, they would see that you guys are the ones that really try to lead the charge. I mean, the coaches got their responsibilities, but you guys try to keep everybody accountable.
Sure. People say the offense don't do nothing during practice, but I feel like my position group, I don't know about the receivers and the quarterbacks, but my position group personally, we be out here at 2:15, and then we do our drills, and then people still walking on the side and this and that. We still working, we still sweating. So I feel like we got the best working core on the team. So that's just my opinion.
Season's off to a good start, 2-0. Now you got Port St. Lucie. What do you feel is working right for the offense? What do you feel like you got to improve on?
Really, improve on the O-line, really, because I feel like if we didn't have a lot of penalties, we would have been blowing teams out by like 50 points. But the O-line, they're still doing good, but just less the penalties for like we can have momentum and just keep scoring the ball, keep scoring the ball, and keep scoring the ball. And then after that, the O-line, the starting O-line can get out of the game before they got to worry about the penalties, so everything will be fine.
Let's talk about a little bit of time off the field. What do you like to do for fun?
I like to play my game and hang with my family and hang with my friends and go out to eat.
All right, well, hey, you got a mic here. Why don't you give a shout out to the fam?
What's going on? I love y'all.
Hey, tell me about your family, because we get to know you, but there's more to the Rogers family than just Quincy.
My mom, I love her so much. She do everything for me. Every time there's a game, she always makes sure she's there. She recorded me, and then my grandma, she don't come out because of COVID, so she watched the live stream and she watch everything number 2 do. She always watch, and then all my aunties and then my grandfather, they all go to my grandma's house to watch the game, so they don't miss a beat. But my mom and my stepdad, they be at the games. But the rest of my family, they still watching, but they're not at the game, but they still watching though.
Let's talk about the possible next future for you, or next chapter for you, which would be college. Aside from any scholarship offers, if you could pick a school, what school would you pick and what would you study?
I'll pick University of Florida. The number one reason, I think it just feels like home, and then won't be far from my family. And I want to study business or technology. I haven't decided yet because I feel like I'm good with computers. And I feel like I don't want to work for somebody, so that's why I'm going to make my own business. Nobody has to tell me what to do and stuff like that, but yeah.
Well, I guess it's not a bad school to pick. I prefer Miami myself, but that's okay. Hey, man, let's talk about what game is left on the schedule right now that you're looking at. You go, man, that's going to be the test for us.
Miami Meadow and Treasure Coast, I think that's going to be the toughest game for us. But if we come in and play how we're supposed to play and just listen to Coach Jay and listen to all our coaches. I feel like we should shut them down. And we got home advantage, so it's going to be crazy.
All right, Quincy, I appreciate taking the time to hang with us for a little bit and getting to know you a little bit more, and good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
All right, that's Quincy Rogers, our running back. We'll have more right after this.
The Tripp family, GNC, and the Miracle Mile are crazy about the Vero Beach Fighting Indians and their fans. Joe and his staff have over 2 decades in the supplement business and know all about sports nutrition, along with vitamins, herbs, weight loss, and wellness products. GNC also offers meal replacements and testosterone support and tailors their products to meet individual needs. 562-2450.
Since 1980, the Village Beach Market has been that local store on the beach filled with friends that always has something for everyone. And we've been Fighting Indian fans for generations. From fresh baked goods to prepared foods to chef-inspired lunches and dinners, our slogan says it best, simply better. We're online at villagebeachmarket.com.
Durfee's Heating and Cooling, a longtime friend and supporter of Christian FM. Durfee's Heating and Cooling offers air conditioning repairs, maintenance, and new installations. Family owned and operated, serving the Treasure Coast area. Durfee's Heating and Cooling, 772-971-5884.
More Countdown to Kickoff by Caps Pizza and Pub.
Welcome back here to the Citrus Bowl, Billy Livings Field, where Vero Beach is set to take on Port St. Lucie tonight here for Week 3 of high school football. Currently, we're in a delay. Somewhere a little bit after 5 o'clock, the horn sounded, which is the lightning indicator, and we have not gotten the all-clear signal yet, so we are basically in a holding pattern here until further notice, but that doesn't mean we can't continue with our countdown to kickoff. We just don't know exactly when kickoff's going to take place, but in the meantime, let's check in with the guys that'll be working the sideline when we do get this game working tonight, and that is Ronnie Self along with Derek West. Check in with Ronnie first. Hey, Ron, what you hear?
Hey, Paul. Haven't heard a lot yet, but and I'll go down and see if I can't find out some information here in just a few minutes about where we're at as far as the lightning delay. But I looked earlier before it rained a little bit, and I think we just got the all clear sign.
The horn, yeah.
So they'll open up the gates now, and let the fans start coming in, and the players will come out and get their warm up in. And so I'd say probably 20 minutes, 25 minutes. We'll probably start. But the field is still in good condition. We got some rain, 5:30ish. Got some rain, but field looks like it's still in good condition. Got a little bit of a breeze every now and then, but not like it was earlier. And defensively, hopefully we can continue the same way we've played the last 2 weeks defensively. And I don't look for us to change up anything much, but still going to be alignment and assignment and the fine details like you guys were talking about earlier as far as angles that they take and being able to read the offensive formations so they know where they're supposed to be.
I tell you, Ron, it's been impressive the last these 3 ball games that we've seen them play. Obviously, 1 preseason game and 2 regular season games to watch this defense and how they have performed. And more specifically, how they've bought into the scheme of things. If there was any hesitation, we would see it, but we don't really see any hesitation. I mean, these guys are flying.
They are, Paul, and early in the preseason, when they were just working out, they looked pretty bad. Mm-hmm. But by the time they got to the first preseason game, and then the first game, it was a totally different group of guys out there, and they really caught on to what Coach Mata was teaching them and how he was teaching them, and it's just carried over so far into the end of the season, and they have really been playing as good a defense as I've seen Vero play.
Yeah, I think when you look at go back to the spring game and you see a little glimpse here and there in some of the plays, you go, wow, this really could be something special, and then to see these last 2 ball games specifically, how these guys have performed has been outstanding.
Oh, it has been, Paul. And, really we had a lot of question marks on that front line coming in and the defensive secondary coming in. Mm-hmm. But they have responded to the coaching and, hats off to our coaches for getting these boys ready to play the way they're playing right now.
Absolutely. All right, well, we'll see what the hope brings for us here as we've gotten the horn has sounded for the all clear, and we're starting to see people fire into the stadium here, so we'll see how things go. All right, working the sideline for the offense tonight will be Derek West. And Derek, what do you hear for that offense for this ball game tonight?
Well, I thought this before the rain delay and the weather delay, but I still think this now. I think that our offensive line is a real key to the ball game tonight, and I think actually the offensive line is a key to our season going forward. I think we can go really, really far, kind of, you guys have been talking about how good this team is and how well we can execute. If you look at our progression with our offensive line from our preseason game to the last two games, it's been little incremental steps, getting a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better. And in the second half, I thought we really played well on the offensive line last week. And I know we did because Quincy Rogers came to me at the end of the game and he said, how many yards do I have? And I said, if I answered that question, Quincy, the coaching staff would have my hide. But we've really been playing well. And I think tonight when you look at Port St. Lucie and you look at their defense and you look at their capabilities with regard to their Mike linebacker and their middle linebackers, they're capable. And I think that we have to get our pulling guards really to pull in the hole and not just occupy the space with the linebacker, but we have to really chip on the defensive line as well. I think we struggle with that a little bit, and I think we're seeing some coaches really challenge them in practice, really to be eyes forward and to not just occupy the space, but look for anybody coming in that zone and coming in that gap. And I think that you're going to see some things that are going to really determine the future of our run game. But I do think if we do those things well, we're really going to see Quincy Rogers kind of start coming into last season form a little bit. And, you know, we got kind of an offense that's kind of clicking, but, man, it can really be humming if we can get the run and the pass going and the offensive line working those ways. And so I'm really looking forward tonight. I think that anything that we do, you learn really quickly that you're your greatest opponent. And for you to be able to say, on this play, I'm going to do the best possible job that I can. I'm going to block my man. I'm going to do my job. And I think that's what you're going to see tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And we talked about that earlier, that last week, what stopped Fighting Indians? It was themselves. And if they can clean up some of those mistakes, no telling what that ceiling looks like for the Fighting Indian football program. We'll step aside. Bobby Paris is going to be joining us here shortly for Women of the Fighting Indians. We got more countdown to kickoff coming up right after this.
The Tripp family, GNC, and the Miracle Mile are crazy about the Vero Beach Fighting Indians and their fans. Joe and his staff have over 2 decades in the supplement business and know all about sports nutrition, along with vitamins, herbs, weight loss, and wellness products. GNC also offers meal replacements and testosterone support and tailors their products to meet individual needs. 562-2450.
The Fighting Indians rely on teamwork, and so does Christian FM. One of those teammates is Scott Sporting Goods. Scott Sporting Goods features an array of sporting equipment, including clothes and shoes. They are also the ones that fit our Fighting Indians broadcast team with the Fighting Indians apparel. Located in downtown Vero Beach, 1407 20th Street. Their phone number is 778-0661. Thanks to Scott Sporting Goods. Christian FM thanks Paris Family Chiropractic for their support. Dr. Matt Paris is a longtime resident of Vero Beach and a former quarterback for the Fighting Indians. Just like our Fighting Indians work hard for the win, Dr. Paris works hard for a patient's well-being. From proper alignment to good nutrition, Dr. Paris helps patients achieve the win. Paris Family Chiropractic. When the spine is in line, everything is fine. 299-4649 or parisfamilychiro.com. The Fighting Indians rely on teamwork, and so does Christian FM. One of those teammates is Scott Sporting Goods. Scott Sporting Goods features an array of sporting equipment, including clothes and shoes. They are also the ones that fit our Fighting Indians broadcast team with the Fighting Indians apparel. Located in downtown Vero Beach, 1407 20th Street. Their phone number is 778-0661. Thanks to Scott Sporting Goods.
Perkins Pharmacy in Vero Beach is glad to be a supporter of Christian FM and to help put Fighting Indians football on the radio. Owner Edwin Perkins and his staff are all big fans of the Fighting Indians, and they hope Coach Jankowski and the team have the right prescription for another winning season. Perkins Pharmacy is on State Road 60, right across the street from KFC. Their phone is 978-6470.
A septic system is only as good as the installation and maintenance. Reliable Septic is the name known along the coast for being the professionals who install and service these systems for both residential and commercial uses. They'll determine the on-site needs and design considerations for a complete wastewater treatment system, thanks to Reliable Septic Service. 772-562-4242.
It's countdown to kickoff. Now, here's Bobby Paris.
Welcome to Women of the Fighting Indians. This is Bobby Paris, and I have the privilege of interviewing the moms of our senior varsity players and getting a woman's perspective on Friday night under the lights. Real quick, shout out to my sisters Sherry and Kim watching all the way from Georgia. So listen, if you've got family members who can't be at the game or live too far away, they can go on YouTube and watch it with Vero Nation. My guest tonight is the beautiful Tammy Broxton Brown. She is mom to number 50, Kesney Brown. He is our great defensive lineman. Now, Tammy, this is about you. So tell us about yourself.
Well, thank you so much for having me this evening. I am an educator here in Vero Beach. I have been with the school district for 28 years now. I am the mother of 4. Kesney is my youngest son. I am the wife of a pastor. My husband, Kenneth, pastors Kingdom Works Ministries, Church of God. And I am tired.
This time of year.
I have been doing Friday night football since the Billy Livings era. So yeah, born and raised here, native of Vero Beach, and just enjoying my time at the Citrus Bowl.
Did you come from a sports background or play sports in school?
No, I did not play myself, but I have 2 older sons that played, and my daughter was a cheerleader.
And so they both played for Vero Beach High School, and their names?
Okay, my oldest son, Javius Broxton, played for Vero Beach High. My daughter cheered for Sebastian River High School. And then my second son, Derek McCrae, he played in Palm Beach Gardens.
Okay, so you have been doing this a long time. You've been the football mom for many years?
For many, many years. I think 2000 is when my oldest son graduated.
Well, you have it down then. Okay, Tammy, home life. This time of year, so much going on between August and December. Holidays, and then school, and football, and homecoming, and whatever else we can cram into the calendar. What is your secret for keeping it together?
You have to have a calendar. Keep everything written down. Make sure you have your special notifications to remind you. And then I just have balance. You know, we work all week knowing we have Friday night. We're going to be at the Citrus Bowl this game day. And we just keep a balance so that we get enough rest and we keep it moving on to the next thing.
If you had 3 priorities, with number 1 being the most important for your children, what would those be?
Well, I must say number 1 is definitely going to be God. That's number 1. We are a church-going family, and Kesney was raised that way, so he knows that God has to be number 1. He's first. Then second, I would say family. You need to recognize that family is very important. You have a role in the family, and you need to do your part to help the family be supported. Okay. And then the third thing I would say, I hope I can do a little / education / whatever you're passionate about. I think that's really important.
So join me, Bobby Paris, at halftime for more of Women of Fighting Indians football.
Hi, JW from Barker Air Conditioning. These hot and humid days sure do take a toll on your air conditioning system. Barker Air Conditioning offers our ESA annual or semi-annual maintenance plans to keep things in good working order. Barker Air Conditioning, servicing Indian River County since 1959.
Perkins Pharmacy in Vero Beach is glad to be a supporter of Christian FM and to help put Fighting Indians football on the radio. Owner Edwin Perkins and his staff are all big fans of the Fighting Indians, and they hope Coach Jankowski and the team have the right prescription for another winning season. Perkins Pharmacy is on State Road 60, right across the street from KFC. Their phone is 978-6470.
Air Docs of the Treasure Coast, cooling specialists, are Fighting Indians football supporters. They know how important it is to have a cooling system that can stand up to our Florida heat. Air Docs offers a full range of cooling and heating services, including repairs, tune-ups, and systems maintenance. Online at airdocsac.com and Facebook.
Jeremiah's Italian Ice loves our Vero Beach Fighting Indians. Jeremiah's offers over 40 flavors of Italian ice and 2 flavors of soft serve ice cream. The showcase of the menu is layering the 2 together for their gelati. Located off State Road 60 in the Marshalls Plaza, Jeremiah's Italian Ice. Live life to the coolest.
A Total Golf Cart supports the Fighting Indians and their fans. They're the authorized club card dealer and love to assist buyers to find the golf cart that best meets their needs. They offer both new and used club cars. And Total Golf Cart also has a full service department at 1140 South US 1 in Vero Beach or at totalgolfcart.com.
HBS Glass is a proud supporter of Fighting Indians Athletics and Christian FM. Since 1973, HBS Glass has served homeowners, architects, and contractors in the Vero Beach area. HBS Glass offers hurricane impact windows and doors. HBS Glass, 722 3rd Place or hbsglass.com. Thanks to HBS Glass.
More Countdown to Kickoff by Caps Pizza and Pub.
Well, you're listening to WSCF Vero Beach, your home for Fighting Indians football. Paul Tipton along with Dr. Matt Paris as we get set for Week 3. And that brings the Port St. Lucie Jaguars to the Citrus Bowl. We have been in a weather delay for the last hour or so. We got the all clear. Now, what we're told is that when both teams actually get out on the field, then we've got a 20-minute warm-up period, and they'll get this game underway. So if that's the case, right now, we're probably looking somewhere around 7:20, 7:25 as a kickoff time. So in the meantime, yeah, you know any good jokes?
Yeah, you know what, Paul? Tonight, it's military night here.
That is true. It's Military Appreciation Night. Yep.
It is. And so, you know, it just and everyone has, you know, or not everyone, but a lot of us have family members that either served or they might have served themselves, but we're no different in the Paris household with starting with my grandfather, who, just thinking about that today, who World War II, who landed on D-Day, made his way through and then fought at the Battle of the Bulge, two crucial points in that war that won us victory. And then take that all the way down to my son, who I'm watching right now, who's a paramedic, who's in the back of the ambulance, just as he's serving his county, and he's here at the field performing his job. But he served 4 years in the military as in the Army, and very proud of him, and obviously both of them. And so when we do this stuff, it's neat, Paul, that it's not just about coming out here playing on a Friday night, but we have this opportunity because of all the men and women that have served, that are serving, and that will serve.
Amen. And very appreciative of the fact that we do get to sit here on a Friday night and have fun, cut up, and make jokes, and watch young men get out there on the field and, smash up against one another and score points, and we cheer and yell and scream and whatever. And we even like the officials sometimes on these things, but
But it's nice, and they'll have someone that's either it's from the ROTC, or someone from the community that that is continuing to serve or has served, and they'll be the honorary coin toss guy and or lady. And when you look at our players, they've got the camo type uniforms on, and then our coaches are in this this green and white, and it's really neat because it just says that this is America, and God, country, and football.
Absolutely, well said, and very appreciative of all of our men and women that have served and are currently serving to protect our freedoms and give us the rights and fun times that we get to enjoy here each and every week. All right, Matt, so we've got the Port St. Lucie Jaguars that are coming in. They're 2-0. And now, again, as we were talking about Vero Beach earlier, it's like, okay, we've played two teams. We've won both games in convincing fashion. we don't really know a lot about who Port St. Lucie's played. Are they good teams or not? You don't know.
No, I mean you can watch film, but it's it's a one-game deal. The first opponent comes out of Boca, so it's a South Florida team. But, typically they've got good teams down there. It's a little bit of like an academy, so you're not 100% sure. And then the really neat thing was that Port St. Lucie was invited by Disney to play the last year state champ out of Colorado in Orlando. So both teams, they come there, they go over to the Orlando area, and they play. So you're looking at it's a big honor, and so they chose a Treasure Coast team in Port St. Lucie. They came out with the win, which is good. But it's one thing that shows that Florida football, still Florida football.
Yeah, looking at those two games, Matt, against St. John Paul Academy, it was a 42-0 win. Against Chatfield, which is out of Colorado, it was a 28-17 win. So you see right away two things stand out to you a little bit, which is the offense can put some points on the board, and the defense keeps the opponent from scoring.
Yeah, they did. Starting with the offense, they got a young man. He's rushed now for 2 back-to-back 100-yard games, and so that obviously bodes well. That's Salim Felder, and he, and watching the film on him, Paul, this is what I noticed. He's not real tall, but he's solid, and he makes really good cuts, and he knows how to run behind his guys. They'll pull the guard. They'll like to go with 2 tight ends. Sometimes they'll spread it around a little bit, but he runs well, and he has good vision, and 2 things that you want from your running back, and that's why he was able to dominate those 2 games.
Yeah, and you got Santiago Rodriguez, who's the starting quarterback for the Jaguars. So far, he's completed 20 passes off of 34 attempts for 365 yards and 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. So he doesn't hurt you. He takes care of the ball, and he obviously gets it to his receivers.
He's an athlete. You can watch him, and I think he's rushed for 8 times for 44 yards. I believe if that's the numbers I was looking at. And so he can definitely – he does a good job of running their offense. It's not like he's putting the ball on the ground, but he gets the ball to the right guy in the right timing. They don't have a very complicated offense. It's when I say complicated, in regards to if you look at like a Vero High School, all right, you're spread out, you're throwing the ball all over, you got 8, 9 guys touching the ball, you coming out of the backfield, running the RPOs. They don't look as complicated, but they look very efficient.
Yes.
And that's huge in high school football. Sometimes when you're not when our guys run it great, but sometimes if you're a little less, you can be a little more efficient. With that being said, 100%, I will take our offense all day long, and our coach Lenny Jankowski, who is a savant when it comes to this, and not just that, he makes this a complicated offense very simple for our guys, and that's what makes a coach. You can take a complicated offense or defense, and you don't know what you're doing. But a coach that can take that and bring it down to the level of the players, and you see how they execute, and they execute well, that's a good coach.
Well, it's going to be interesting, Matt, because one of the things that stood out to me when I was looking at stats for Port St. Lucie is they got a secondary that likes to ball hawk a little bit. They got 4 interceptions already in 2 ball games.
They do. So watching the film, the film wasn't as impressive as the paper. You got the 4 interceptions.
Gotcha.
But there's a couple of balls that were thrown up that probably shouldn't have been. But nonetheless, they got some guys, and and listen, you're on the Treasure Coast and you're in Florida, so you're going to have some athletes, and they have had some down there. This program has really turned around in the last couple of years. I mean, before, Coach Jankowski probably would not have entertained bringing them on the schedule, as far as where they were. Now, I mean, they're having some of their best years in their program. They're putting guys in college, and all of a sudden now it's like, let's do this. This is a good test. They're right around the corner. Not a lot of travel time, so why not?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm kind of glad. I mean, I like when we can play some of our area schools, especially when they're doing well. Because, okay, let's face it, we're all going to have teams on our schedule that we consider the cupcakes and whatnot. But I like how Lenny consistently puts together a competitive schedule. And I love it, especially when we can play some of our close area teams, especially when they're being competitive.
Without a doubt. And when you have that, they travel well, meaning that the fans travel well. So here you are. Vero always puts a great crowd up, and that's one of the things that draws coaches to Vero is not just the actual playing the team, but being able to play in front of 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 fans. And then you take on where you got, like you said, one of our next door neighbors who they're going to travel well with some fans. It just brings the excitement up in the game.
Absolutely does. Well, we are by the clock. We are 12 minutes and 40 seconds away from kickoff. We're going to step aside for a minute. We'll come back and talk a little bit more as we get set for our kickoff tonight between Port St. Lucie and your own Vero Beach Fighting Indians. We'll be back.
Hi, JW from Barker Air Conditioning. These hot and humid days sure do take a toll on your air conditioning system. Barker Air Conditioning offers our ESA annual or semi-annual maintenance plans to keep things in good working order. Barker Air Conditioning, servicing Indian River County since 1959.
Christian FM can put this game on the radio thanks to the support of businesses like Chuck Bateman State Farm Insurance in Vero Beach. Chuck's goal is to create an atmosphere where customers can talk about what's important to them. He's also a huge supporter of our local chapter of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Chuck's phone is 567-1106 or chuckbatemaninsurance.com.
The Fighting Indians rely on teamwork, and so does Christian FM. One of those teammates is Scott Sporting Goods. Scott Sporting Goods features an array of sporting equipment, including clothes and shoes. They are also the ones that fit our Fighting Indians broadcast team with the Fighting Indians apparel. Located in downtown Vero Beach, 1407 20th Street. Their phone number is 778-0661. Thanks to Scott Sporting Goods.
Thanks to Roy Bell Grading Services for sponsoring Fighting Indians football and the Fighting Indians post-game show. Roy Bell Grading Services is locally owned and operated, providing services to this area for over 37 years. Roy Bell Grading Services offers services such as land clearing, grading, laser grading, and complete site work.
Hi, my name is Chase Bell. My family and I support Fighting Indians football and Christian FM. Go Indians!
No job too small or too big. Roy Bell Grading Services. We roll the earth. 772-473-4559.
Ohana Water Systems is proud to partner with Christian FM. Hi, I'm Mikey, owner of Ohana Water Systems. We've created a technology that takes city and even well water and turn it into drinkable, pH-balanced, remineralized alkaline water throughout the entire house. Our system also protects the plumbing and appliances from hard water damage. No obligation consultations and water testing available. Online at ohanawatersystems.com.
More Countdown to Kickoff by Caps Pizza and Pub.
So we've got about 10 minutes before we get to kickoff as another little shower is coming through the Citrus Bowl area here, but thankfully no lightning. That's always the one that stops play, and rightfully so. So far, we do not have any indicators going off, and that's always a great sign. That means that we can get this game underway here in just a little bit. Paul Tipton along with Dr. Matt Paris as we get set for tonight's matchup. It's Port St. Lucie here tonight, 2-0, taking on the 2-0 Fighting Indians. Matt, I know you talked a little bit with Coach Jay about some rule changes and those kind of things. I'm particularly pleased that the FHSAA changed, and I guess more or less added a rule where it allows the quarterback now to throw the ball away if he's out of the pocket, very much like college and pros.
It's 100%. It was a kind of a no-brainer. It's not a hard call to make. Is he outside the tackle and he does the ball as he's throwing it, make it back to the line of scrimmage? And with that being said, that line of scrimmage just doesn't stop at the sideline. That's an infinity line. It goes as far. You just got to make it. You can throw it to the stands, but as long as it passes somewhere, if that line would have been extended out. And it's just a protective rule. They do that in the pros, and they do it in the college so that the quarterback doesn't have to take an unnecessary hit. Yeah. He can just, and because there's that, usually it's a pretty big collision. He's running out, and the other guy's coming out at full speed. And finally, we've been saying it for years. Off air, we've been saying it for a while. Like, why don't they allow these quarterbacks? And half the time, the quarterbacks in high school are watching the next level anyway.
Right.
And they're watching how they throw it away. And then all of a sudden, they do the same thing. And it's really a heads-up play. And all of a sudden, the coach looks and goes, guys, we're in high school. You can't do that. Which, at the time, it's a loss of down and loss of yards. It's a huge penalty.
Yeah.
So I think they did it right. They, we don't always give them a lot of credit. but they got one right on this one.
So what's a rule that we're not currently using in high school football that you think would be good?
You know what? I wouldn't mind them being able to come out of the end zone. If you know what, you got to, if the ball goes into the end zone, I wouldn't mind. Right now, you cannot bring it out of the end zone.
Well, to maybe add on to that, I would say if you are going to stay in the end zone, why not bring it to the 25 now?
Or bring it to the 25 because, you're just like at the other levels, they're not bringing it out to the 25. I agree. So that's one of those that hey, if it's going to go in the end zone, he wants to pull it out and run, you have that opportunity because sometimes – man, there's a line drive that goes into the end zone, and there's 40 yards between you and the next player. Right. It's you have an opportunity, but once again, it's a safety issue, and what they're trying to do is limit the amount of contact on those. When you have the punts and the kickoffs where there's a lot of speed going. Well, it's the potential for more violent collisions, and they want to reduce that, obviously. The other one is I would like for them to clarify this blocking behind a little bit better. So right now what they're trying to do is it's a point of emphasis, if you want to say, where if the running back is taking off or there's a punt and the guy's taking off and there's a block that's 10 yards behind it, they don't want that contact. All right. Well, there's the intent of the law or the rule, which is you want to protect the players, but then there's the practical application of that where you go, listen, if that guy is on a full sprint, we know that people get run down. Right. And, he's got to be able to at least get in his way, do something. I'm okay with not having the blind side. Like, the guy's running, even though it's legal, you just clean his clock. I'm okay with, you can't do that. Because a lot of those blocks, I can throw my shoulder into you. I can get in the way, and that's sufficient. Well, right now, you can't even do that. In any contact, it's and it becomes just completely subjective. It absolutely does. One rule I would really like to see them change is – in the pass interference and the ball that's uncatchable. I would really like to see that. Yeah, we all would. We all would, especially here at Vero because, when we have the defense is doing so well, our defensive line, and they're just throwing balls up. And it is. And it's one of those things that if the referees would get together, they can make the call. Oh, yeah. It's not like one ref has to say, oh, that was over his head, it's too hard. You got other refs that can say, hey, that was an uncatchable ball, that's our uncatchable ball. And that would not be a pass interference. Well, you and I both, we've seen over the years, there's a pass that's, about 10 feet high. It's going way out of bounds. The guy's got no shot at catching it, and just because a guy, and I'm not even saying it has to be Vero, because a defender puts his hand on a player, it's pass interference. It's pass interference. I agree. That would be something and that's not a hard one to say, hey, all we're going to do is, it has to be a catchable ball. And not even remotely around the young man. That's right. Yeah, I think that, if you could determine a certain radius and just say, okay, if it's within a 5 or 6 foot radius or whatever, then do something like that. But otherwise, come on. That's to me, that's just a cheap first down. It really is. It really is. No, I agree with you. I wouldn't mind seeing that. All right. Well, we've got about 4 minutes and 45 seconds before we get to kickoff. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back and get set for tonight's action.
The Tripp family, GNC, and the Miracle Mile are crazy about the Vero Beach Fighting Indians and their fans. Joe and his staff have over 2 decades in the supplement business and know all about sports nutrition, along with vitamins, herbs, weight loss, and wellness products. GNC also offers meal replacements and testosterone support and tailors their products to meet individual needs. 562-2450.
Christian FM is proud to welcome a new business coming soon to beautiful downtown Vero Beach. Downtown Dipper. Downtown Dipper is a step back in time to an old-school ice cream shop, serving 24 flavors of hand-scooped ice cream. A family-owned and operated ice cream shop. Downtown Dipper, opening soon. Thanks to Downtown Dipper for supporting Christian FM and the Fighting Indians.
The mission of the Fighting Indian is excellence, teamwork, and consistency. The same holds true for the McCall Agency, Inc., a local independent agency and broker and 4th-generation resident of Vero Beach. To learn more about their insurance products and risk management, Christian FM supporter Ron McCall can be reached at 772-473-6856, and their site is McCallagencyinc.com. Proudly serving the Treasure Coast since 1956.
Ohana Water Systems is proud to partner with Christian FM. Hi, I'm Mikey, owner of Ohana Water Systems. We've created a technology that takes city and even well water and turn it into drinkable, pH-balanced, remineralized alkaline water throughout the entire house. Our system also protects the plumbing and appliances from hard water damage. No obligation consultations and water testing available. Online at ohanawatersystems.com.
More Countdown to Kickoff by Caps Pizza and Pub.
So you got 2-0 Port St. Lucie here tonight at the Citrus Bowl to take on the 2-0 Fighting Indians. And yeah, we're a little late getting started because of a weather delay. But good news is we are about 2.5 minutes away from getting this game underway. So let's take a look at our starting lineup for tonight for the Fighting Indians. We'll start with that defense first. Up front, it's going to be Warren Perry, Kesney Brown, and Gene Galbert. Linebackers, Bucky Rojas, Keyshawn Campbell, and Kevin Pollock. In the secondary, you'll see Ephraim White, Derek Williams, Aiden Smith, and Donquell Wesley. We'll also see some playing time from Cameron Perez and Elijah Anderson in that secondary area. For the offense tonight, starting up front, Benitez, Paris, Stevens, Hall, Jordan. They'll be protecting Tyler Aronson. Tyler on the season, 32 of 46 through the air for 434 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Last week, 21 of 31, 202 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 pick. Quincy Rogers will be in the backfield. Quincy, 18 carries on the season for 106 yards and a touchdown. Targets for Tyler Aronson through the air will be Troy Smith over on the left side. He's got 3 catches, 85 yards, and a touchdown. Justin Woolard's got 4 catches, 42 yards, and a touchdown. Von Travius Jacobs leading all receivers. 15 catches, 244 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Nate Gwynn also on that side with 3 catches and 44 yards. Jesse Lewis will be taking care of the kicking duties. He's 10 of 12 on extra points. We haven't tried a field goal so far this season, and Cameron Perez as the punter, averaging 44 yards. We'll step aside. We'll have the opening kickoff coming your way right after this.
The Tripp family, GNC, and the Miracle Mile are crazy about the Vero Beach Fighting Indians and their fans. Joe and his staff have over 2 decades in the supplement business and know all about sports nutrition, along with vitamins, herbs, weight loss, and wellness products. GNC also offers meal replacements and testosterone support and tailors their products to meet individual needs. 562-2450.
Air Docs of the Treasure Coast, cooling specialists, are Fighting Indians football supporters. They know how important it is to have a cooling system that can stand up to our Florida heat. Air Docs offers a full range of cooling and heating services, including repairs, tune-ups, and systems maintenance. Online at airdocsac.com and Facebook.
Caps Pizza and Pub, a proud sponsor of the Fighting Indians and Christian FM, serving Vero for over 35 years. Caps offers Italian cuisine, including pizza, strombolis, calzones, hot and cold subs, plus wings. A family-owned and operated business, John and his staff are happy to serve. Caps Pizza and Pub, 725 27th Avenue Southwest, Vero Beach, 772-770-2277 or capspizzamenu.com.
Thanks to Roy Bell Grading Services for sponsoring Fighting Indians football and the Fighting Indians post-game show. Roy Bell Grading Services is locally owned and operated, providing services to this area for over 37 years. Roy Bell Grading Services offers services such as land clearing, grading, laser grading, and complete site work.
Hi, my name is Chase Bell. My family and I support Fighting Indians football and Christian FM. Go Indians!
No job too small or too big. Roy Bell Grading Services. We roll the earth. 772-473-4559.
A septic system is only as good as the installation and maintenance. Reliable Septic is the name known along the coast for being the professionals who install and service these systems for both residential and commercial uses. They'll determine the on-site needs and design considerations for a complete wastewater treatment system, thanks to Reliable Septic Service. 772-562-4242.
HBS Glass.
More Countdown to Kickoff by Caps Pizza and Pub.
Well, as another little shower is coming down here at the Citrus Bowl, we go to center field here, or midfield, and You see the players out, the captains for tonight's contest. And they'll work on the coin toss here, the official. And, of course, with Military Appreciation Night, we have some honorary captains out there tonight. Matt, it's always a special night when it's Military Appreciation Night.
Well, you got two guys that graduated from Vero, 1989 graduate, John Teskey, and I would tease him and say 1975, but I think he was a 1981 or 82 graduate, Joe Moore. Both of them served in the military, and now they've come back here to be a part of the community, and they are pillars in our community.
Absolutely are. St. Lucie has won the toss. They have elected to receive. And so Vero Beach, when they get the whistle, will be kicking towards the west end of the end zone. And again, John Teskey and Joe Moore, honorary captains out there for the coin flip tonight as part of the Military Appreciation Night. All right, folks, I think we're about set to get this game underway. It might be a little soggy out there, but we're going to do it anyway. We'll step aside. We'll come back. Opening kickoff is next.
Hi, JW from Barker Air Conditioning. These hot and humid days sure do take a toll on your air conditioning system. Barker Air Conditioning offers our ESA annual or semi-annual maintenance plans to keep things in good working order. Barker Air Conditioning, servicing Indian River County since 1959.
Christian FM thanks Paris Family Chiropractic for their support. Dr. Matt Paris is a longtime resident of Vero Beach and a former quarterback for the Fighting Indians. Just like our Fighting Indians work hard for the win, Dr. Paris works hard for a patient's well-being. From proper alignment to good nutrition, Dr. Paris helps patients achieve the win. Paris Family Chiropractic, when the spine is in line, everything is fine. 299-4649 or parisfamilychiro.com.
Hi, Derek West here from the Genesis Church of Vero Beach. We are proud supporters of Fighting Indians football and Vero Beach athletics. We invite you to join us this Sunday at 9:15 for our service. If you can't join us in person, please visit us online at gcvero.com. Genesis Church of Vero Beach, place of love where honest men are known and unafraid to love the hardest stone. Visit us at gcvero.com.
Durfee's Heating and Cooling, a longtime friend and supporter of Christian FM. Durfee's Heating and Cooling offers air conditioning repairs, maintenance, and new installations. Family owned and operated, serving the Treasure Coast area. Durfee's Heating and Cooling, 772-971-5884.
There's the snap for the punt. It's blocked. Rojas picks it up. It's going to be a scoop and score. Indians with the touchdown. Pass is going over the middle of the field. Wide open is Jacobs. He's got it. He's going in from 37 out for the score. Boom! Pressure on the snap. Defense in the backfield. The ball's loose. And the Indians have it in the end zone for the touchdown. Handoff's going to go off to the right side. Jaquan Jean's got it. There's a little bit of a hole. He's off to the races. It is to the 15, to the 10, to the 5. Score it, Jean.
This is Fighting Indians Football. Vero Nation Network and Christian FM Sports presents Fighting Indians Football with Matt Paris, Ronnie Self, Gary Paris, and Paul Tipton.
The Fighting Indians are on a roll. 2 games, 2 wins, and nearly 2 shutouts. The offense is playing solid, but the defense is showing us something special. Port St. Lucie is riding a wave that started a year ago, winning a district title and making the playoffs for the first time in years. The Jags off to a good start at 2-0. A win at the Citrus Bowl might send them over the moon. Jaguars, Indians, Friday Night Lights are on, and it is game time. Hey, Vero Nation, Paul Tipton, along with Matt Paris, we welcome you to Fighting Indians Football. Proud to bring you our 26th season of Indians Football, and it's presented by the GNC Miracle Mile. Weather delay has got us starting this game a little bit later than the 7 o'clock reserved kickoff time, but we are going to get this game underway as we just had a shower pass through Billy Livings Field area here. As we get set, Military Appreciation Night. Fighting Indians wearing their camouflage red jerseys tonight with their red helmets and black pants. Port St. Lucie coming in here at 2-0 with Chris Dent as the head coach, wearing their white jerseys, black pants, and black helmets. As Perez is going to kick this one towards the west end and goes into the end zone for the touchback. So we will see the Jaguar offense, Matt, get us started at the 20.
Wow, that was a great kick by Cam Perez. Not only was it in the end zone, but it was high. That was a that's the kick you want. That's the one where I said you want to be able to take it out. That's where you'd rather not take it out because he kicked it high and deep, and we had great pursuit. And you know what? Things start on the special teams, and let's see if we can keep it going.
Santiago Rodriguez, quarterback for Port St. Lucie. In the backfielder, there, Salim Felder. Their star running back has carried the ball 37 times for 264 yards and 4 touchdowns. Jaguars are going to come out with a single receiver on either side. Now out of the backfield, high snap. Rodriguez trying to scramble and will just slide down and take about a 4-yard loss.
Well, you know, one of the things I did see in the film were some high snaps, and we started off. You got a wet football, and that doesn't bode well. High snap, and quarterback did a good job not forcing anything. You had Keyshawn Campbell right there to clean your clock. He stayed home, and Rodriguez did a smart job just coming back to the line and just sliding in and minimize the loss. Very athletic play to keep that ball from actually going into the end zone.
2nd and 13 on the 3-yard loss on the high snap. Rodriguez with 2 backs in the backfield, now 1 in motion. Another high snap goes over Rodriguez, and he falls on it inside the 5 to the 3.
Well, that's what when you come into Billy Living's stadium, Billy Living Field, that's what you cannot do. And you 2 bad snaps. This one actually got over, and as athletic as Rodriguez is, could not come down with that one. Takes it all the way down, Paul. I believe that's on what?
I believe it's the 3-yard line.
The 3-yard line. So now you've got a 3rd down and a forever.
Yeah, and you don't need another high snap now.
No.
Don't go 3 for 3 on this one. Well, I guess, you know.
If you're an Indian fan.
You're hoping for that. They'll call it 3rd and 27. Another high snap. Rodriguez, though, scrambles. Able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of 1, and it's 4th down.
They had once again. He just was able to jump up and keep the ball from going into the end zone, and doing it as good a job as you can, trying to not get this. That right there, they got to figure that out. It's going to be a very long night, and so what you have here is now it's the ball's wet, and you're punting from your deep in your own end zone.
Yeah, this is potential for a big rush by the Fighting Indian special teams. Whistle's going to, the flag's going to come out.
A flag on the play.
This may be a sideline warning, maybe against St. Lucie.
Yeah, that's a little frustrating because if I was Port St. Lucie, because the ball's on the 3-yard line.
Yeah.
And the coaches cannot get past the 25-yard line, and yet they're throwing a flag all the way down here. It's just I don't know, a little unnecessary. But when you watch this punter, Paul, he's not that deep either.
Does get the punt away. Woolard is going to catch it on the 40, backtracks to the 45, looking for a lane. Left side, 30, 20. Inside the 20 to the 15 to the 10.
Wow, what a nice job. Excellent job by the punter, who's really not that deep. He got the ball off end over end, but Wooler did a great job backpedaling, and they had a wall set up to the left. He starts to the right, comes back, and a couple of key blocks. Kevin Pollock out there doing a great job. And, man, how about this field position for the Indians?
About a 23-yard return by Justin Woolard, who's got a 55-yard punt return for a score this season. We'll call it a 33-yard return. 1st and goal at the 10. Handoff Rogers. And gets past the 10 to about the 8-yard line where he stumbles there.
Oh, a little inside read, and boy, he want that one back. We had a wall for him as we had the right side of Dalton Jordan and Chase Stevens, and then Paul Paris on the pull. Man, he had a wall, and I believe Kent Quincy just tripped up.
He had 15 carries last week for just under 100 yards, was Quincy, as he gets the handoff again off the right side. Burst of speed, and Quincy into the end zone. Touchdown.
Same play this time. He stayed on his feet, got behind the big guys, and scored 2 plays. How about that? Quincy Rogers in the end zone. And great call by Coach, and the little RPO. Great call by Tyler, giving it off to Quincy, who scampers in the end zone behind the big guys, Chase and Dalton. And I believe that was, and Paul Paris coming around.
2 plays to go 10 yards. And an 8-yard run by Quincy Rogers gets him into the end zone. That scoring drive brought to you by the McCall Insurance Agency as we get set for the extra point try by Jesse Lewis. Brock Thomas set for the hold, puts it down, and Lewis on the line drive hits the lineman, and it will be no good. So it's going to be a 6-0 lead for Vero Beach early in the ballgame.
The mission of the Fighting Indian is excellence, teamwork, and consistency. The same holds true for the McCall Agency, Inc., a local independent agency and broker and 4th-generation resident of Vero Beach. To learn more about their insurance products and risk management, Christian FM supporter Ron McCall can be reached at 772-473-6856. And their site is McCallAgencyInc.com. Proudly serving the Treasure Coast since 1956.
Durfee's Heating and Cooling, a longtime friend and supporter of Christian FM. Durfee's Heating and Cooling offers air conditioning repairs, maintenance, and new installations. Family owned and operated, serving the Treasure Coast area. Durfee's Heating and Cooling, 772-971-5884.
All right, well, they didn't take the mandatory timeout. They went ahead and kicked that ball off, and a return got up to about the 25-yard line, so a little better starting position for Port St. Lucie. Let's see if they get the issue with the snapping worked out here on this particular series.
We weren't even really able to see what their offense was because of the bad snaps last time. So we'll see what Coach Denton has for the offense on their second attempt here.
6-0 lead for Vero Beach, capitalized on the mistakes on the offensive side for the Jaguars, and then a nice punt return by Justin Woolard. Set us up on a short porch, 1st and goal at the 10.
Yeah, that's our cornerback right now is being told he needs to exit the field, lower his pants that as far as the knee pads go, then it's you cannot, and you can't even just pull them down when they're above. It's like you have to exit the field. Someone else has to come in. You lower the knee pads below, and right now Coach is going nuts on these guys. It's like this is nothing new.
Yep. 1st and 10. Pump fake, swing pass, going left side, but the defense right there, and that's going to be a loss on the play of about 2.
Well, great read by, Keyshawn Campbell out there, who was in Kevin Pollock and number 22, Donquell Wesley, who came in for King as he went out. And the quarterback tried to get it to him quick, but Keyshawn was in the way, and he had to pump and then still get it to him. But it was a loss on the play.
It was Jeremiah Spear on the reception. But he had Indians in his face as soon as he caught the ball.
Jeez.
2nd down and 13. Right side. Another screen pass and another. The ball came loose, but I think they're going to call that incomplete. Again, the Indians quick on.
It'll bring up a 3rd down, 13.
Now,
that's incomplete.
It was definitely incomplete.
Ball,
yeah, he never had control over it. Just trying to run a screen over there, taking the outside receiver and bringing him back in. A long throw, kind of had a little air under it. And if you watch the film on it, the Port St. Lucie, he was looking at the Indians and not looking at catching that ball because the Indians were on him in no time. And we had a blitz from the outside that caused that ball to actually have to go in a little bit in the air to get to him.
So they've tried a screen to the left side. They've tried a screen to the right side.
Yeah.
And they found out that the Indians pursue on both sides.
Yes, they do.
Now it's 3rd down and 13. Rodriguez, pressure coming out of the pocket to the right. Now they're trying to reverse his field. Pressure. Now he's got some room if he can get a block or two. Able to get to the 25, close to the 30-yard line. Won't be enough for a 1st down.
No, it wasn't, but what an athletic play because he literally had nothing. And if you look in the secondary, there was nothing for him to throw to as he was rolling out to the right. They ran a little flood route and tried to get different levels, all guarded. And great pursuit, and he was just able to athletically pull up and keep from having a huge sack.
You know, Matt, that's good discipline, too, by that secondary, too, because you see a guy running, what's your natural instinct? You want to go after him.
Attack it.
Yeah. So that sets up for Jaguar punt. Punt is away. Well, we got some pressure there. Woolard catches it, tries to shake off one tackle. Flag's going to come in, might have a face mask.
Hey, really, I think we did. Man, what you talk about, just a heads-up play. Catch it on the sideline in case we've seen a ball hit, because most guys will just let that go out of bounds. You catch it on the side, because if it happens to hit and rolls the other way, it's a bad deal for the Vero. Boy, Justin Woolard does a great job, and then was able to step in, and looks like he's going to get a block in the back.
Wow, really?
Thought they might. It looked like they scraped down his face mask. We thought they maybe get the face mask call, but
okay.
10-yard penalty. Indians come up first and 10.
So that will push the Indians back to the 28-yard line. Tyler Aronson, 4-receiver set, trips on the left side. Shovel pass is going to go to Dre. Dre shakes off a tackle, working his way through the traffic down the sideline. He's going to turn on the Jets, and he's going to the house.
So that's going to be a long touchdown pass for Tyler Aronson and a long touchdown reception for Vandravius, who did the little jet sweep. The ball gets tossed to him, and great job of blocking. Poor tackling down here, but great blocking from our receivers. 72-yard touchdown reception. And I always like those because it makes a quarterback think that you actually threw the ball 72 yards. But and then we just saw the speed. And, man, how about that? How about 3 plays, 2 touchdowns for the Indians?
You see the speed.
Yes.
You see the agility. You also see the strength.
Yes.
You can't just take this guy down. So we get the extra point through, and Vero Beach extends its lead 13-0.
Since 1980, the Village Beach Market has been that local store on the beach filled with friends that always has something for everyone. And we've been Fighting Indian fans
His strength and his speed to go 72 yards for a score.
Oh, it was great. I mean, the offensive line did a great job, set it up well. And then how about some key blocks downfield by the receivers, which obviously makes Coach happy.
High, short kick. Caught by Port St. Lucie around the 37, 38-yard line. I think Vero was going to try to see if they could catch him off guard a little bit.
Yeah, they almost were able to. A little pooch kick, and what great pursuit by the Indians. Better field position so far for Port St. Lucie. But, yeah, you try to kick it. Look, you kick one deep, you kick one to the corner, and then you try to pooch kick. Yeah, mixing it up a little bit.
So 2 possessions for Vero Beach have resulted in 2 touchdowns. It's a 13-0 lead for Vero Beach. This will be the 3rd possession now for Port St. Lucie, as we have 6 minutes and 40 seconds to go in this first quarter. Rodriguez, hands off, Felder, stretch on the right side, able to get to the edge, gets out of bounds around the 45.
Yeah, that's a nice play by Felder, able to spread that out. The cornerback on the left side of the Indians. A little no-no, you kind of come in and you allow him to get on the outside. You've got to be able to turn that up. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure Coach Ray Hall is going to be in his ear because it was on that side. And looks like, Paul, we're going to get a first water break.
6.5. That's where we take our water break. We'll step aside. Vero leads 13-0.
Christian FM can put this game on the radio thanks to the support of businesses like Chuck Bateman State Farm Insurance in Vero Beach. Chuck's goal is to create an atmosphere where customers can talk about what's important to them. He's also a huge supporter of our local chapter of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Chuck's phone is 567-1106 or chuckbatemaninsurance.com.
Christian FM is proud to welcome a new business coming soon to beautiful downtown Vero Beach, Downtown Dipper. Downtown Dipper is a step back in time to an old school ice cream shop, serving 24 flavors of hand-scooped ice cream, a family-owned and operated ice cream shop. Downtown Dipper, opening soon. Thanks to Downtown Dipper for supporting Christian FM and the Fighting Indians.
This is Fighting Indians football on the Vero Nation Network. Brought to you by Molinari Pools. Let's join Gary Paris and the voice of the Fighting Indians, Paul Tipton.
Well, Gary's not here tonight. He's over in Orlando working a University of Central Florida game. Matt Paris here with me. Thanks for joining us here at the Citrus Bowl. Vero Beach taking on Port St. Lucie, leading 13-0. But Port St. Lucie, with their third possession of the night, has a 2nd down and 2 coming their way. Rodriguez fires, hits his target at the 49-yard line, and that will be enough for a first down. Their first of the night.
Nice little pitch and catch, little hitch route out there. You see the cornerback on that side. He's just giving a little bit of cushion, and you saw a little athletic and a nice quarterback job by Rodriguez.
So the Jaguars will put the ball at their own 49-yard line, where it'll be 1st down and 10. Trailing by 13 points.
Yep, right now Coach Dent sees something, and he's seeing a mismatch out here where we don't have an extra guy.
It looked like there was a movement there. Rodriguez on the scramble. Flag is down, and Rodriguez going to go out, and now there's going to be another flag coming in. And looks like we're going to have offsetting penalties, most likely. I believe we're going to have a hold on Port St. Lucie, and then we're going to have, I believe, a late hit on Vero Beach.
Yeah, the quarterback on the our sideline, on the far side from us, he was giving himself up. He was going out of bounds, and sure enough, you lay the shoulder to him, and he goes down. You're going to get that call all the time.
Dead ball.
Should be offsetting and just replay the down.
Unnecessary roughness also on.
Oh.
They're going to say dead ball.
I'm not sure how that's because it looked like he was, I don't know. That's weird.
As a dead ball foul.
Dead ball foul.
Both penalties were assessed. The ball comes to the 37-yard line.
Okay.
1st and 10, Port St. Lucie.
Okay.
All right, so the Jaguars will get the ball moved into Vero territory after the penalty. Spotted at the 37-yard line of Vero Beach. Trips to the left side for the Jaguars. Rodriguez going to go swing pass left side. Pressure coming, and the Indian pursuit is there, and it will go down as a loss on the play.
Yeah, Coach Dent's going nuts right now. He's got you've got 3 offensive guys. They do the same thing that Vero does. You got 3 offensive guys and basically 2 defenders with a safety that's high. And you're saying, okay, our 2 guys got to block their 2 guys, and then you make a move as your wide receiver. We like that matchup all day long. Well, our cornerback, number 22, Donquil Wesley, he beat the block and was able to tackle for a loss.
Yeah, that was Griffin on the reception for Port St. Lucie. It's a 2nd and 12. Felder on the handoff, left side. Montgomery grabs a hold of his shoes right away and maybe picks up about 1.5 yards.
Nice job. When you see the red hats behind the black hats on that defensive line, you know what? They're winning the battle there in the trenches. And what a nice play by Montgomery. He gets by, and that's what you're talking about, not losing sight of the ball. The guy gets behind you or beside you, but you don't lose your eyes, and you make the tackle.
2nd down 11, ball on the 38.
3rd down 11 at the Vero 38. 4 receivers, twins on either side. Rodriguez looking to fire downfield, and it's going to go over everybody's, and now there's a flag. They're going to call pass interference?
Well, you had two guys throw flags, so something that we didn't see as it was looked like a flag route, and the ball was thrown over his head.
Pass interference.
It looks like there's pass interference on Vero. So it must have been somewhere a little earlier than what we saw because both guys flagged it, and we'll give it to them.
All right, so that will result in a first down.
That's their third first down, 2 by penalties.
15-yard penalty results in a first down for Port St. Lucie.
And the ball will move to the 24-yard line of Vero Beach. Jaguars are trailing 13-0. We got 4 minutes and 17 seconds to go, first quarter. Indians have 3 penalties, 40 yards. Receiver in motion. Handoff, Felder trying to stretch it out wide right, but the pursuit is there, and Williams, and now a flag's going to come in.
Oh, they're going to call a face mask. One of the guys, oh my gosh. And right now, Coach is going nuts over there. So either he didn't see the face mask. Oh, man.
Wow.
Well, it was basically a speed sweep to the right, and Vero read it perfectly, strung it out. Felder had nowhere to go. The guys are driving him back. Possible 10-yard loss on the play.
It was going to be a big loss.
5-yard.
He was tackled at the 36. The ball started at the 31.
So a face mask, it's a 5 yards, means it's he didn't actually grab it. It was probably a scrape on it. Getting from Derek down there that he had it on, but he pulled it off real quick. Still a loss.
So it's a first and 17 coming up at the 31. Trips to the left side. Swing. Left side and nothing there as it's incomplete. Again, Griffin, the intended receiver, and he's probably thankful he did not catch that ball.
Because guess who was coming down again? Elijah Anderson from the safety position coming down. And so what you're seeing right now from Vero is you're seeing a lot of man-to-man right now in our secondary. And when we're able to do that, that means we can stack the box because Felder's been their main guy. That means we have more guys than they can block if we're comfortable going man-to-man.
Second down and 17. Or I guess 18 now at the 32. Rodriguez, pressure coming, trying to find an escape patch, and he cannot get out of it. And it's a team meeting on the quarterback.
Wow. We had Kevin Pollock coming on the edge on a blitz. No one had answers for Kesney Brown, Warren Perry. He was in there. I believe that we also had Gene Galbert. He was in on the tackle. Man. And it's a big loss because Rodriguez, they had not gotten to him yet. He was still trying to make a football move, and that's why it was such a big sack. Ooh, 15.
Loss of 15 on that play. We're going to call this a 3rd and 40 from the 46.
On 3rd down.
Twin receivers on either side. Pressure coming. Screen pass. Ball's up in the air. It's picked off. Return coming up.
And there's a flag coming in. Looked like a face mask. Keyshawn Campbell. Keyshawn Campbell was on the outside. He blitzed, came out as the ball popped up, was able to make it. This is how athletic this guy is, and where he's coming into his own this year. Was able to come around, back out, and as the ball bounced off of the Port St. Lucie chest, straight up into the air, he was able to grab it, fight for a little bit, get a face mask. This is going to be a big one for Vero Beach. Man, it's exciting watching that young man right now.
I'm telling you.
Wow.
So the face mask penalty is going to move the ball into Jaguar territory to the 41.
When the dust settles, it's 1st and 10 Indians from the 41.
So we'll see the offensive unit led by Tyler Aronson back out on the field. 4-receiver pack. Trips to the left side. Handoff, Rogers off the left side, shakes one tackle, scoots ahead for about a 7, 8, maybe 9-yard gain.
Yeah, a little inside zone read. He gets the handoff, and you got a guy that's just an offensive line on that left side doing a great job of, sealing the wall and let him do his thing.
We're going to bring up 2nd down and 2.
Call it 8, 2nd and 2 at the 33. Indians lead 13-0. Coming up, 2 minutes remaining first quarter. Handoff again, Rogers shakes off one tackle, going to the left edge. Tackled on the 29-yard line. It'll be enough for a Vero first down.
Yeah, you just saw right there, not just the speed from Quincy, but how about the strength to be able to bounce off the guy and able to pick up the first down. He has done such a great job just preparing himself from a mental and a physical aspect. You look at him and how strong he's gotten and the speed that he has and just learning the game. Fun to watch.
From the 29, it's 1st down and 10. 90 seconds to go in the first quarter. A 13-0 lead. Aronson, flag is down. Aronson rolling out, fires downfield. Receivers open, and it's caught by Van Dravius, but it'll come back.
So we put two running backs in the backfield, Paul, and one of them just got a little head start on that one right there. And what a throw and catch that was right there. Tyler Aronson just showed why he has got offers from SMU. He's committed to them, and I wouldn't be surprised if other offers don't come in.
Yeah, sure.
That right there, throwing to his right and absolutely dropping a rope into Von Dravius. And how about that? It looked like he wasn't going to be able to get to it, and he was able to get to it. That's just SMU to FSU.
Another flag coming in from the Port St. Lucie side.
I'm not sure. There he was actually pointing to Vero, but he's talking to Vero players.
Huh. We'll see what the call is. Dead ball.
Oh.
On Sportsman against Vero.
I'm not exactly sure what happened, but he was talking to a couple of our players. So either they said something, they didn't say something, or they I don't know exactly.
While we've got a second here, let's check down on the sideline. Derek, what you got?
On that last penalty, they called kind of some chippiness and talking, and that's what they were doing. And I think they called it all Vendravius Jacobs. But on the last touchdown pass, we had the touchdown pass, a great seal on the end by the offensive guard. We were really blocking well. Let's hope we can keep it up.
Absolutely.
So that's going to push us back to the 49-yard line. And it looks like about a 1st and 30 coming up. Now officials are going to stop the clock for a moment here. Wow.
Well, it's one of those things that we weren't there. We didn't hear what it said, but it was, how about that? We go from having a touchdown to offsides to a false start and to a penalty. Now we're looking at 1st and forever.
1st and 30 at the Jaguar 49. Handoff, Rogers off the right side, through the goal, 30, 20, 10, and down near the 5.
Wow. How about 1st and 30 and you have confidence in your running back and that offensive line that you hand it off to him goes off the left side once again. And big blocks from the line, big blocks from Troy Smith down there and takes it all the the way down inside the 10-yard line.
Or it's going to be first and goal. From the 6, first and goal. Aronson swing out left side. Woolard, touchdown.
Oh, that is just, you talk about speed and just the athleticism from Woolard, but how about the tempo from Coach Jankowski and the quarterback Tyler Aronson to get everyone, get set, get down there, get the ball out quick, a little slip route to the left, and Woolard does the rest. Good blocking by, once again, Troy Smith, and another touchdown. And how about that, 3 touchdowns in the first quarter?
Yeah. So wait for Jesse Lewis here on the extra point try.
Aronson's pass, number 7, Justin Woolard to the house. Jesse Lewis.
Kick is up and good. Indians extend the lead 20-0.
A family business for 25 years, Total Golf Cart supports the Fighting Indians and their fans. They're the authorized club card dealer and love to assist buyers to find the golf cart that best meets their needs. They offer both new and used club cars. And Total Golf Cart also has a full service department at 1140 South US 1 in Vero Beach or at TotalGolfCart.com. Air Docs of the Treasure Coast, cooling specialists, are Fighting Indians football supporters. They know how important it is to have a cooling system that can stand up to our Florida heat. Air Docs offers a full range of cooling and heating services, including repairs, tune-ups, and systems maintenance. Online at AirDocs.
Christian FM.
41 yards in 5 plays. Justin Woolard got a reception from 6 yards out, took it into the end zone. And the Indians now lead 20-0. That is the McCall Insurance Agency scoring drive. Kickoff collected at the 3, to the 10, at the 15, and nowhere to go.
How about that? When you got a kid like Cam Perez who's kicking, and he can kick like that right there, high, deep, all the way down inside the 5. I would be doing that all the time. And how about the freshman Ephraim White coming down and making the play, putting his chest right in there. Here's a kid that's going to be probably the starting quarterback in a couple of years at Vero, and he can play corner, receiver, and he's down on kickoff making a play. How special is that?
They're going to spot this at the 12-yard line. Be first down and 10. Jaguars are going to send 2 receivers right side, a single to the left. Handoff, Felder, right side. We'll get to the 15-yard line.
Yeah, nice job by Matthew Bacon in there on that left side as Felder came by, just grabbed him right by the hips to take him down. And that's not an easy task. We've talked about what a good runner he is, but Matthew was able to do that. That's Vero right now has been switching up their front. We're going from 3-man to 4-man. I don't know if we've seen the 5-man yet, but we've seen it with the blitzing. They've been all over the place.
Coming up the last few seconds of this first quarter, down to 10. And the Jaguars might just let this run out with 12 and now 10 seconds left on the play clock. And that will do it for the first quarter of play. Vero Beach, 3 possessions in that first quarter, 3 touchdowns in that quarter. They lead 20-0. Second quarter's coming up.
Christian FM. One of those teammates is Scott Sporting Goods. Scott Sporting Goods features an array of sporting equipment, including clothes and shoes. They are also the ones that fit our Fighting Indians broadcast team with the Fighting Indians apparel. Located in downtown Vero Beach, 1407 20th Street. Their phone number is 778-0661.
Woolard was a screen pass.
Sporting Goods.
Jeremiah's Italian Ice loves our Vero Beach Fighting Indians. Jeremiah's offers over 40 flavors of Italian ice and 2 flavors of soft serve ice cream. The showcase of the menu is layering the 2 together for their gelati. Located off State Road 60 in the Marshalls Plaza, Jeremiah's Italian Ice. Live life to the coolest.
This is Vero Beach Fighting Indians football on Christian FM. Let's join Gary Paris and the voice of the Fighting Indians, Paul Tipton.
Well, here we are at the Citrus Bowl, Billy Livings Field, week 3 of high school football, and your Fighting Indians are hosting Port St. Lucie. The Jaguars, led by head coach Chris Dent, and the Jaguars right now find themselves in a hole, down 20-0. As we get set to start the second quarter, Jaguars are looking at a 2nd down and 6.
And it looks like we're going to get
looks like Vero, or excuse me, Port St. Lucie is going to take a timeout as
that's weird.
coming out of a quarter break, and then you got to take a timeout before you get the first possession started. That's not a good sign.
While we got this time, I want to. I've got my sister with her daughter-in-law, my nephew. They're in the hospital right now. We're waiting on a new one to come around, and we're waiting to get the call. In the meantime, I got my phone next to me so I can give a shout out. That's Peyton and Gina, and we're waiting on that. So praying for a good delivery there. And we got all the other family. I got my aunt. She's up there listening and in Atlanta. So, Kim, shout out to you, girl. Can't wait to see you.
What does that make? Like about, 175 of your clan now or something like that?
Blessings from God.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, back out on the field. It's 2nd and 6 for the Jags. Handoff, Felder, left side. Nothing there.
Wow, how about Antoine being in there, the big guy, just kind of disrupts it. He doesn't get the tackle. Looks like Bucky Rojas was in there on the tackle, but and the rest of that defensive line. But, man, you just talk about that's what you want to see. Coming up now with a 3rd and, what'd you say, 5-6?
Yeah, I would say it's a good 3rd and 6. From the 16-yard line. Rodriguez rolling out, pressure coming. Bacon's on him, and he will go down on a sack. And now a flag comes in.
So let's talk about the play that Matthew Bacon just did. He was on the left side. He shoots out. Rodriguez is trying to peel to his right, and Matthew's on the defensive left. And Matthew stops him from the left. Rodriguez is trying to be athletic and go all the way around, and he was able to grab him, get a shoe, and get the sack.
All right, so we got a flag over here on the far sideline.
What do we got?
Ineligible receiver downfield for St. Lucie.
Ineligible receiver, it looks like. Yeah, they're going to decline that.
Yeah.
So most likely what happened was you had it looked like one of the guys was covered up, meaning that you have to, if the two guys are going to go out on the same side, one has to be off the ball, and it looks like they were probably both covered up.
So good job by Matthew Bacon to get in there again.
Yeah,
I mean, he's what's really good about that, his story is, last year, early in the season, he goes down with a knee injury, and he's worked so hard to get back. And, boy, is he just playing lights out right now.
He really is. You can see the confidence that he's got in that knee now.
Line drive punt is going to shank and go out of bounds around the 20-yard line.
Man.
Yeah, the Jags just really struggling to find something positive here right now.
No, that's usually, man, when you hear that shank, it's usually when you and I are on the golf course, and I'm saying, hey, it's okay. You got another shot there, Paul. Don't worry about that one. Oh, gosh. Love you, bud.
The abuse that I have to take, Of course, now I'm feeling like your dad. That's what he was saying last week, the abuse I have to take while I'm up here. So, Vero Beach with a excellent opportunity here. We'll start from the Jag 20. Aronson, a keeper, will pick up positive yardage as he gets to the 15, maybe 14-yard line.
Yeah, that was a designed run, like basically a draw play. Instead of handing it off to your running back, you've got your quarterback who just picks up 5-6 yards. And what a good job. You see the ball was there. They were trying to strip it out, and you can tell the strength of that young man.
Yeah, at 6'3", 210 pounds. That's not a bad running back to have back there. Picks up 6, 2nd and 4. Willard on a little pass underneath, turning it up to the 5. And he'll have a first down. It'll be 1st and goal.
Wow, what a nice play. How about our offensive line? I'm going to tell you, number 69, now that's my nephew, Paul Parrish. He came out and he put a lick on one of those, I think it was the outside linebacker, and that's what you want to see, them big guys getting out there and making hits.
Absolutely. First and goal at the 5. Handoff. No, keeper. Swinging out right side. Caught. And it's a touchdown.
That's Dre.
On a 5-yard reception.
Looked like a little bit of a whip route where you would come in and then make your way out. And he came right along the goal line. And how about Tyler? Had a little pressure on him, was able to just avoid that, get outside, and throw a P-Rod into the gut of Dravius with another touchdown. Boy, I like to hear that. Tyler to Dre.
So Brock Thomas will get out there to wait for the snap, put the ball on the ground, and let Jesse kick it through the uprights. High snap. Brock sprinting, trying to get to the corner, and he will get there. 2-point conversion.
Boy, I tell you, you'd like to say
that. We missed it earlier.
Yes, we did. You'd like to say that was by design, but it's not. Brock Thomas is one of our wide receivers and a very athletic young man. The snap was a little bit high, and there was no chance of getting that off. He just takes it and turns around the corner, and you saw his athleticism and his speed. Well done. And picks it and gets us right back on track.
28-0 with 9:41 to go in the second quarter. And that was 3 plays from 20 yards. 5-yard reception from Aronson to Jacobs. And it is 28-0. That is the McCall Insurance Agency scoring drive. Next week, the Fighting Indians, again at home, continues this home streak for the next several weeks. Westwood comes to town. Game time, 7 o'clock. Our coverage begins at 6 p.m. Perez going to kick the pooch kick again. Caught and muffed, but I think Port St. Lucie got it, but boy, did he take a shot.
Number 18 for Port St. Lucie. They're probably going to take him off the sideline and say, I don't even have a number 18 for him, but say, hey, let's fair catch that.
Yeah, wave your hand, man.
Yeah, wave your hand. He's about 5'4" and probably about 110 pounds. And luckily the ball was able to bounce right back up into him, but he took a shot on that one.
So the ball's at the 29-yard line. Port St. Lucie down 28-0 with 9:39 to go in the second quarter.
Once again, we're talking about that pooch kick, and I know that coach would probably like it a little bit deeper.
Rodriguez.
Oh, wow.
Oh, nothing going there as he tried to hand off to Felder, and the defense is right in there.
Gene Galbert. Man, how about that? Gene Galbert. You talk about technique and speed, and darn near got the handoff as he was back there so quick. Whew.
Man. So, a loss on the play. Second down and 14 now for the Jaguars.
Got some different guys in there at defense. Paul, we got 34. Afion Rivers at linebacker.
Yeah, Afion had that pick 6 in the Boca game. Here comes a blitz. Quick pass out to the right side. But the pursuit is there. It'll be some positive yardage as he gets to the 31, maybe 32-yard line.
Yeah, you had Griffin III was out there making the tackle along with Kevin Pollock. And a young man from Port St. Lucie, though, he was able to carry the pile enough for a little positive gain.
Picked up 6 on the reception. Makes it a 3rd down and 8 for the Jaguars, who are down 28-0.
Right now, Paul, you're down 28-0. You just need first downs. Let's try to get first downs. You know, obviously you want points on the board, but you got to get some momentum. You got to get something going.
Yep. Timeout's going to be taken by Port St. Lucie.
He had
play
to.
clock was going down to 0 there. So we'll step aside. 7:53 left in the second quarter. Vero's up by 28.
HBS Glass is a proud supporter of Fighting Indians Athletics and Christian FM. Since 1973, HBS Glass has served homeowners, architects, and contractors in the Vero Beach area. HBS Glass offers hurricane impact windows and doors. HBS Glass, 722 3rd Place or hbsglass.com. Thanks to HBS Glass.
Since 1980, the Village Beach Market has been that local store on the beach filled with friends that always has something for everyone. And we've been Fighting Indian fans for generations. From fresh baked goods to prepared foods to chef-inspired lunches and dinners, our slogan says it best, simply better. We're online at villagebeachmarket.com.
So timeout by Port St. Lucie as the play clock was going down to 0, saves them from backing up. But they're looking at a 3rd down and 8 now from their own 31. Receiver in motion. Rodriguez looking to set up a screen, and the Indians snuffed that one out. A high pass. Boy, you really didn't give your receiver much chance on that one.
No, it basically tied in on the left side. The motion from the quarterback was all the way to the right. Looked like they're going to try to throw to the screen to the right, and they got to set up a screen to the left, but they had nothing going on as Warren Perry read that perfectly. It looked like he was over there, and as there's so many Indians, but they sniffed that out quick, and nothing going on.
You know, that has to be a little intimidating when it feels like everywhere you look, you see a red shirt.
You do.
I mean, it's just like...
And as an offensive coordinator, you're like, I really don't have an answer for this right now.
A little shifting. Snap is there. Punt is away. Another. Yeah, Ephraim White, who's got some speed. He's a freshman. Matt talked about his potentially being a starting quarterback for us in a couple of years. He's just a great athlete, and he is. If you watch him on these punts. The last 2 weeks and now again tonight, you see him. He is getting in there on that punter and putting a lot of pressure.
He does, and mentioned it earlier. It's a little bit of an unusual as far as the punt for Port St. Lucie. The punter's only back probably 7 yards, which is a little bit more like almost a shotgun, but he's having to get it off real quick.
It's what you would see if we had Tyler just drop back for a punt. Yeah. So they'll spot the ball at the the Jaguar 47. Aronson looking to throw, firing down the left side. There was a clear hold there.
Oh, wow. No. So that was just a go route by Troy Smith, who is our track star, one of our track stars. We got multiple track stars on this team. And Tyler just puts it in the right spot. But the Jaguars got away because there was a clear. Wow. It's one thing when you kind of grab. There's another thing when you see the full jersey stretching out to its max. And that's what happened. And they were able to get away with one.
With these jerseys now, how tight they are. I mean, when you see it stretch like that, I mean, come on. Second down. Twins on either side. 7.5 to go in the second quarter. It's 28-0 lead. Aronson rolls out to his right, looking downfield. He's going to fire. He's got Dre down the sideline. Got a block. Turn it in. Another touchdown. Jacobs.
No flags, and how about that? Tyler Aronson.
How about Nate Gwynn getting down there with a block?
He did. Nate was running an out, and he peels up. He was along the sideline also. Didn't get the ball, but you know what? He comes back and makes a block for his Indians. That's an unselfish, very good play by Nate, your senior. And how about, once again, the connection between Tyler and Dre. 3 TDs on the evening.
Well, we'll get set for the adventure that we call the extra point. There's the snap. The kick is up, and it is down the pike. It is now a 35-0 lead for Vero Beach. 7:20 to go, second quarter.
A septic system is only as good as the installation and maintenance. Reliable Septic is the name known along the coast for being the professionals who install and service these systems for both residential and commercial uses. They'll determine the on-site needs and design considerations for a complete wastewater treatment system, thanks to Reliable Septic Service. 772-562-4242.
The Fighting Indians rely on teamwork, and so does Christian FM. One of those teammates is Scott Sporting Goods. Scott Sporting Goods features an array of sporting equipment, including clothes and shoes. They are also the ones that fit our Fighting Indians broadcast team with the Fighting Indians apparel. Located in downtown Vero Beach, 1407 20th Street. Their phone number is 778-0661. Thanks to Scott Sporting Goods.
47 yards, 2 plays. And Aronson to Jacobs connection again. 35-0 lead. As Perez gets set, another pooch kick. Ball, and it was a fair catch. Now you can't run with that. That would be actually a penalty. But Matt, it's not lofty numbers other than what you see on the scoreboard at 35-0. But Tyler right now, 5 of 6, 141 yards and 4 touchdowns. But that's because the defense is giving them such a short porch every time.
Paul, you're absolutely right. We started off on the 10. We started off on their 41, their 20. We 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've had 5 possessions. 4 of them have been in Jaguars territory. So with that, you're not going to get a lot of gaudy numbers, but they're doing their job. And, man, yeah, that's pretty impressive. Quarterback, 4 touchdowns. Dre with 3 TDs. Man. And the defense just continues. And we're rotating guys in and out, which is awesome.
Yep. So now it's a first down and 10 at the 34 of Port St. Lucie. A little positive yardage.
Yeah, a little shirt grab
Clayton
by
Yearby on the carry this time.
Yeah, Keyshawn Campbell on the tackle was able to bring him down.
Yeah. Yearby able to get a few yards there, and we'll say 5.
Yeah, you got James, looks like James Santos in there and David Benjamin on the defensive line.
Stick around. We got the Genesis Church halftime show coming your way, featuring women of the Fighting Indians with host Bobby Paris. That'll be coming up in 6.5 minutes. Handoff. Oh, man. Met in the backfield again. And how about James Santos getting in there along with Benjamin?
Oh, and Bucky Rojas joined in on that one. And number 96, let me get to that one. And Rupert Taylor was in there as well. And, man. And that's just right there. It's just that's reading your keys and reacting. You know what you're the linebackers, you're following the guards. You go right through the guard, right to the ball, following the key. Defensive linemen staying where they're supposed to and making plays.
Timeout on the field as we hit 6 minutes left in the quarter. We'll step aside. Vero leads 35-0.
A family business for 25 years, Total Golf Cart supports the Fighting Indians and their fans. They're the authorized club card dealer and love to assist buyers to find the golf cart that best meets their needs. They offer both new and used club cars. And Total Golf Cart also has a full service department at 1140 South US 1 in Vero Beach or at TotalGolfCart.com.
The Tripp family, GNC, and the Miracle Mile are crazy about the Vero Beach Fighting Indians and their fans. Joe and his staff have over 2 decades in the supplement business and know all about sports nutrition, along with vitamins, herbs, weight loss, and wellness products. GNC also offers meal replacements and testosterone support and tailors their products to meet individual needs. 562-2450.
This is Fighting Indians football on the Vero Nation Network, brought to you by Ohana Water Systems.
Back here at the Citrus Bowl, Billy Livings Field. Second quarter in action here against Port St. Lucie. On third down, Rodriguez going for a pass, and that pass interference for sure.
Yeah, that was
that's a clear-cut case.
He did. A little fake jet sweep. Running a slant from right to left, and he got. He was on him, but it was a little too much
he was on
him.
All right, yeah. When they say blanket coverage, that's a little too much.
That was a little bit too much. That was the freshman who, he read it right. He read it right. What happened was you on that one, you reach from the left side, and you can't when you're trying to come through them on the right. And that's just a learning. Come around.
So that'll give the Jags a first down, and they move into Vero territory to the 47.
So, Paul, this is unofficial from me, but I've got them from 4 first downs, 2 of them by penalties. I'm sorry, 3 of them by penalties. Yeah, there you go. Don's agreeing with me. 3 by penalties.
Well, any way you can get them. Jags are going to set up at the Vero 47.
Better hurry.
Yeah, play clock is now
and
at 0.
Done. That's it.
The flag. They tried to give it. They tried to let them get it.
Flag on the play. Got a dead ball.
Yeah.
Delay of game offense. 5-yard penalty.
When you look at high school football, most of the time you do not have play clocks.
True.
You just got a guy that's
most stadiums don't. Yeah.
Yeah, most stadiums don't. We do. And they're pretty clear. They're on each side of the. You can see whether you're going east or west, and it's not that your high school football quarterbacks are normally used to looking for that, but it's available and it's there.
Well, regardless if it's there or not, I mean, still, internally you got a clock. You got to get the play off. You don't have all day. 1st and 15. Handoff Yerby. Trying to bulldoze his way to the midfield stripe.
Blow the whistle. Blow the whistle.
Once momentum is stopped, it's time to call it a play.
That's right. Initial contact, I believe, was James Santos in there.
So there'll be a second down and looks like about 14, 13 at midfield.
So what you have in right now is you've got, when that play stopped, you got 40 seconds. Clock starts at 40 seconds. If there's a penalty or there's something, when they reset it, it's 25 seconds. So if your mentality's still going off of the 40, that you're missing that extra 15 seconds, it's that's when you get in trouble.
See when they dial up for 2nd and 13. Shuffle pass, left side. And good pursuit again by the Indians. Rojas.
Number 18.
That was number 18 again, who's didn't make a fair catch, made the fair catch, ran after the fair catch. And now he's got a chance to catch the ball, and a little athletic move.
Tackle for the Indians, number 96.
Just great pursuit by the Indians.
Yeah, the Indians just, they're flying to the ball.
Hey, they've seen that in practice.
Yeah,
they've seen that a few times, and they're like, I think our number one's a little faster than your 18, so we've seen that one.
3rd down, 14 at the Jaguar 49. Rodriguez. Pressure coming, and another sack at Campbell.
Man, Keyshawn Campbell is just, we talk about playing with your hair on fire. He came from the right side of that defense around the edge, and Rodriguez never saw him. And you actually had the running back who stayed in to block, but he stepped up. He wasn't expecting it to come back from the left side.
That'll be a loss of 8 on the play, backed up to the 41-yard line of Port St. Lucie.
Back at the 41 where it becomes 4th down.
And it'll be punt time for the Jaguars. Three and a half to go in the second quarter. Punt is away. Woolard's backtracking, picks it up around the 15-yard line, finds a lane down the sideline, 40, cuts back to the middle of the field, 45, still on his feet, 40, 30.
Oh, my.
And a flag's going to bring this one back. Willard doesn't know it yet.
He doesn't know it. He just got knocked down by his own teammates in the end zone on a high five. Oh, what a tremendous athletic play by Justin Woolard, the young man from Port St. Lucie. Got a good kickoff, and it just went to Justin's right, and it rolled down all the way to probably about the 15-yard line. And he did a little pause, and he got some great blocks and shot up all the way to the left. And, oh, my. Yeah, Port St. Lucie's best punt of the night. And It's going to be a call back. I didn't say, and it was so far behind here. I don't know if they're going to call a what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah. I'm going to assume that is the call, Matt.
Yeah.
Against Port St. Lucie.
Oh, 5. Oh, it's against Port
St. Lucie, and it's a touchdown.
It's a touchdown.
Okay.
So right now, Paul, you got Port St. Lucie. I believe it's it might be the punter that's down on the field.
So I think we had an 85-yard return.
And
85, yeah.
And we literally Vero guy drove Port St. Lucie guy into the punter. And hopefully the young man's okay, but he stayed on the ground the whole time during that play, and that play took quite a while.
So
well,
Justin
good for
Woolard,
Justin.
He's got a 54-yarder. Now he's got an 85-yard punt return. And that makes it 41-0. We still got an extra point coming our way, but they're tending to the injured Jaguar right now.
Struggling to put a little weight on his foot and assisted off the field.
So, Paul, we got 3 touchdowns by Dre, 2 touchdowns by Justin, 1 touchdown by who was that? Rogers. And how about that? We got multiple touchdowns, guys. It's Port St. Lucie right now is trying to figure out, like, all right, what do we got to do? I don't have an answer for him.
I don't either. And
but that young man is definitely gingerly walking off the field.
Hopefully
there wasn't a penalty on that because the punter did get hit. It wasn't a penalty because it was his own player that hit him.
Yeah, it was his own player that ran into it. Yeah. But we were assuming on the return when we saw the flag that the penalty was what we've seen a number of times now as Lewis puts it up and through, and it's now 42-0. And we'll talk more right after this.
Thanks to Longevity Rehab Centers in Vero Beach and Sebastian, owned by locals whose mission is to help heal those who are hurting with a goal of getting them back to a productive life. Longevity Rehab has built a reputation of trust with their clients from the top down, offering both physical and massage therapy designed to restore, relieve, or maintain a healthy lifestyle. Blue Cross Blue Shield, Humana, Cigna, United Healthcare, Health First, Medicare, and most insurances are accepted. LongevityRehab.com.
An 85-yard punt return by Justin Woolard now has extended Vero's lead to 42-0. We've got 3 minutes, 1 second left in the second quarter. Now, there was a flag that was down. Initially, we were thinking, because we've seen this a number of times now, because it's a point of emphasis of a play, where it's a block behind the play, as the kickoff is going to go to the 10, to the 20, 25, 30, and down around the 35, 36-yard line. So, Matt, you and I were thinking the same thing, is like that when we saw the flag, it was like, oh, this is all coming back because, it's probably some block behind the play. And it ended up, it was a face mask against Port St. Lucie. We obviously declined it. We get the touchdown out of it. But, every now and then I guess one kind of goes, when you're 42-0, can you say things go to your way?
They're going our way. Well, man, there were so many blocks. The coaches are going to be so proud of all of our guys. There'll be multiple blocks from the guys for him to extend the play that long, and they did it in such a good way where they weren't doing the cheap shots. They were, when they did have a chance, I saw a couple, they had a chance to really take a kid's head off, and they were just able to just kind of get in the way, don't get the penalty.
Rodriguez looking to fire over the middle, and boy, he was looking for his tall receiver over the middle, but man, there was no chance on that.
No, and that young man's tall.
Over his head, and he's tall. There was no chance on that.
No, and I tell you what, Anderson was on the play.
Thomas Shuck, who's got 4 catches on the year for 58 yards and a touchdown. Yeah, he's got to be
6'5". I would say that
6'6".
And there was, when you overthrow a 6'5" at 10 yards away, that's not a good.
No. Second down and 10. Hand off Felder, and good Lord, he has just met at the line of scrimmage.
We talked about that's 96.
Tackle for the Indians
Oh.
on that play.
Oh, David Benjamin.
Oh, a 72 was in there on that one. How about that? David Benjamin getting in. Nice. I saw number 96 for us rolling around in there too, Rupert Taylor. But you know what, Paul, we mentioned earlier, when you're able to go man-to-man on the outside on the receivers, you're able to stack that box, and we just have the numbers.
Yep.
And makes it for a long night.
3rd and 11.
Make it 3rd and 11 at the 34. Jaguars down 42-0 to the Fighting Indians, and another timeout's going to be taken by Port St. Lucie as play clock again was almost down to 0 again.
So when you look at Vero's defense, just looking at it right here, you've got 10 guys within 5 yards of the ball.
Yeah.
All right, you got your man-to-man guys are all their press coverage right now, maybe just about a yard off. You got your lineman, you got one linebacker that was at 5 yards, and you got the safety behind him. And so when you're looking at that and you're the offensive line, I don't think that they probably prepared for that. What are your keys on that when you're like, Coach, I can't block 2 guys. I'm having trouble blocking 1 guy. I'm trying to block 2 guys.
Yeah.
A lot of confusion. But you know what? Tell you what, hats off to the coaching staff for Vero. You know, with Brian Rahal, who's your defensive back coach. You got Bill Motta, your defensive coordinator, Teddy Floyd, Randy Bethel. I mean, a lot of years, a lot of experience, and high character guys.
So a year ago, this team was 7-3. They won their district title, got into playoffs for the first time in many, many, many years. Lost in the first round to Lake Wales. Won their first 2 games. You're thinking, oh man, this team's got something. But as Rodriguez had to scramble.
Scrambling number 5.
Wow, I don't know who was able to grab that. He was looking to go deep to number 4 for them. But man, what great coverage! I'm trying to get the number of our guy down here. 27. No, that was over here on the coverage. Was 21 for us. Matthew King. He was stride for stride. You're talking about being in phase. Rodriguez had nowhere to go, and then our Aiden Smith, D-back on the other side, was able to make the tackle.
So Matt, when Coach Jay gets the call from a team and they go, hey, we'd like to play you, and you see what they've done, you're thinking, oh, okay, and it was looking like it was going to be a competitive game, but did not see 42-0 coming here.
No.
As Rodriguez is going to launch it and intercepted. Return, that's Anderson. Shakes off a few tackles, still on his feet to the 45, down the sideline. And it's going to be, he just got tripped up inside the 10. Wow.
I think the 15-yard line got him. Oh, my.
No. Chuck, the receiver, tracked him down, just tripped him up.
Wow. So, they went for it on 4th down, and why not? You're down 42-0, and you're thinking, okay, if he intercepts it, not a big deal. It's like a punt anyway, probably safer than what's been going on. And it just maybe a wet ball just came out, floated up, nowhere near the receiver.
Yeah.
And Anderson playing the center fielder. Easy pick.
Yep.
And almost had the 6.
Almost had it. Made some good moves.
Yeah.
About a 62-yard return on that pick. Sets Vero up 1st and goal from the 8. Aronson's going to send a receiver in motion. That's Woolard. Flag is down. Woolard's going to turn it up and get in the end zone.
He is in the end zone.
Back.
What do we got here?
Illegal shift.
Oh, man. Illegal shift. I didn't see it. Someone was probably in motion, and then he came in motion. And when you can't have 2 guys, everyone has to be set as you go into motion. And Coach right now is, I wouldn't want to be that guy, because what a well-executed play. And you just took a touchdown away from one of your guys' touchdown pass and a touchdown for Woolard. Yeah, and you got to be set. And one of our receivers was not. And
all right, so 2nd and goal, backed up to the 13. Or it's going to be 1st and goal. Jean on the carry. We'll get to about the 12, I think, maybe 11-yard line.
Yeah, Gene kind of stuttered step. Wasn't much of a hole there, but nice job by Port St. Lucie. Just kind of just stuffing everything on that right side.
See if they try to get one more playoff here as it's down to 15 seconds. Woolard in motion, shuffle pass, turns it up, and will get out of bounds. It's going to stop the clock with 6 seconds to go, and now a flag.
And a flag's going to be tackled him out of bounds most likely.
Boy, that's a tough break there. It really is, because their momentum just carried them right out.
It really did. I don't know. Yeah, it's one of those that I mean, and you don't really gain too much from it. It was the clock was already stopped. You got 6 seconds. It's halfway to the distance. So I mean, obviously if you're Vero, you're going to try to punch it in, but yeah, it wasn't like a vicious out of bounds. It was just the momentum.
The momentum just carried them out.
Yeah. Yeah, and once again, I think it was Shuck who's like 6'5" on Woolard, who's probably 5'7", 5'8".
Yeah.
And looked like he was just picking on him.
Second and goal at the 4. 6 seconds to go. Aronson takes the snap, hands off. Hillsman through the gut and touchdown.
And there you go. Nice job by that right side of the line. Wow. Chase Stevens, run. Dalton Jordan. He was wide open. I believe is that a freshman?
Yes.
Jonathan Hillsman. Wow.
Gets touchdown on the evening and makes it 48-0.
Yeah, they talk about how special he is, and I tell you what, he just, man, he did. He looked good as a freshman, weaving his way in there. Oh.
And on the extra point try, Lewis does not connect very well. And it is a missed extra point, and it stays at 48-0, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. Dominance might be an understatement here in describing Vero Beach's performance here in this first half of play. As we'll make our way down to the sideline, I believe Derek's going to have Coach Jay here momentarily. Ronnie, you got him?
I got him.
Okay. Well, actually, Ronnie's going to get him. We'll check in. Ronnie, let's go down the sideline. Ronnie's got Coach Jay.
Coach Jay, you got to be pretty happy with the way we played here in the first half. All phases of the game look pretty good.
Yeah, no doubt. I am pleased. I'm pleased. You know, we obviously had the delay with warm-ups, and you know, we've gone through that throughout the last couple of weeks. So, you know, it's good to see some of those lessons that you go through during the week on facing adversity and getting delayed and getting back out on the field, you know, come out. We were ready to play from the opening kickoff, and like you said, we've been doing okay in all 3 phases.
Coach, and you know, what more can you ask for? That defense is playing pretty hard again tonight.
They play really hard. They're a lot of fun to watch. They're flying around with the ball. I think it's a true team defense.
Coach, congratulations. Good luck in the second half. Back to you guys.
48-0 going into the locker room with a comfortable lead here is Vero Beach. When we come back, we will have the Genesis Church halftime show featuring women of the Fighting Indians with host Bobby Paris. This is Fighting Indians football.
Hi, Derek West here from the Genesis Church of Vero Beach. We are proud supporters of Fighting Indians football and Vero Beach athletics. We invite you to join us this Sunday at 9:15 for our services. If you can't join us in person, please visit us online at gcvero.com. Genesis Church of Vero Beach, place of love where honest men are known and unafraid to love the hardest on. Visit us at gcvero.com.
The Tripp family, GNC, and the Miracle Mile are crazy about the Vero Beach Fighting Indians and their fans. Joe and his staff have over 2 decades in the supplement business and know all about sports nutrition, along with vitamins, herbs, weight loss, and wellness products. GNC also offers meal replacements and testosterone support and tailors their products to meet individual needs. 562-2450.
Thanks to Longevity Rehab Center.
Harris, and I have the privilege of interviewing the moms of our senior varsity players and getting a woman's perspective on Friday night under the lights. Real quick, shout out to my sisters Sherry and Kim watching all the way from Georgia. So listen, if you've got family members who can't be at the game or live too far away, they can go on YouTube and watch it with Vero Nation. My guest tonight is the beautiful Tammy Broxton Brown. She is mom to number 50, Kesney Brown. He is our great defensive lineman. His diversity is, number 1, very agile, and number 2, quick off the ball. And from what I understand, he is really liked by everyone and a force to be reckoned with on that field. He weighs 240 pounds and is 6'2" and a very big boy. Now, Tammy, this is about you. So tell us about yourself.
Well, thank you so much for having me this evening. I am an educator here in Vero Beach. I have been with the school district for 28 years now. I am the mother of 4. Kesney is my youngest son. I am the wife of a pastor. My husband, Kenneth, pastors Kingdom Works Ministries, Church of God. And I am tired.
This time of year.
I have been doing Friday night football since the Billy Livings era. So yeah, born and raised here, native of Vero Beach, and just enjoying my time at the Citrus Bowl.
Tammy, do you have a special cause or interest you want to tell us about?
I do. I am a board member for the Gifford Youth Orchestra. And I am so passionate about working with those young people, making sure that they have something extra to do, that they are exposed to music through violins, the cello. We do dance. And we also do voice lessons. So it is wonderful. Our motto is more violins, less violence. So shout out to the Gifford Youth Orchestra.
I think that is extra, extra special. And I bet that you actually see some real talent come along.
Yes, absolutely we do. And it's so many students, they come back year after year just to support the other children that are in the program.
That's great. You get them ready for the Vero Beach Fighting Indian Pride of the Treasure Coast, don't you? Our bands, they're so awesome. Did you come from a sports background or play sports in school?
No, I did not play myself, but I have 2 older sons that played, and my daughter was a cheerleader.
And so they both played for Vero Beach High School, and their names?
Okay, my oldest son, Javius Broxton, played for Vero Beach High. My daughter cheered for Sebastian River High School. And then my second son, Derek McCrae, he played in Palm Beach Gardens.
Okay, so you have been doing this a long time. You've been the football mom for many years?
For many, many years. I think 2000 is when my oldest son graduated.
Well, you have it down then. So Kesney plays defense. And as the mom, I am the mom of offensive players. Throw the ball, catch the ball, score or not, pretty easy to understand. I have had to learn a lot just from these interviews about defense, and there is a lot to understand. Do you understand your son's position?
Well, I know this much about defense. I know my son's number. I know he stands in front of the center. He's supposed to block, tackle, and make sure that the opponent does not get down the field to score in the end zone. I think that's all I need to know.
That's it. That is exactly all you need to know. Do you ever get worried, though? Because he's going up against those big old boys on that line. Do you ever worry about him?
Oh, of course I do. Actually, I worry about all the players, and I say a special prayer for all of the players that come in on Friday night to play games because, you know, it is a physical sport, and we just want to make sure that they can get out there, play, and end the game safely.
That is our prayer for them. Women of Fighting Indians football will continue right after this.
Hi, Derek West here from the Genesis Church of Vero Beach. We are proud supporters of Fighting Indians football and Vero Beach athletics. We invite you to join us this Sunday at 9:15 for our services. If you can't join us in person, please visit us online at gcvero.com. Genesis Church of Vero Beach, place of love where honest men are known and unafraid to love the hardest stone. Visit us at gcvero.com.
Hi, JW from Barker Air Conditioning. These hot and humid days sure do take a toll on your air conditioning system. Barker Air Conditioning offers our ESA annual or semi-annual maintenance plans to keep things in good working order. Barker Air Conditioning, servicing Indian River County since 1959.
Thanks to Longevity Rehab Centers in Vero Beach and Sebastian, owned by locals whose mission is to help heal those who are hurting with a goal of getting them back to a productive life. Longevity Rehab has built a reputation of trust with their clients from the top down, offering both physical and massage therapy designed to restore, relieve, or maintain a healthy lifestyle. Blue Cross Blue Shield, Humana, Cigna, United Healthcare, Health First, Medicare, and most insurances are accepted. LongevityRehab.com.
The Fighting Indians halftime show is brought to you by Genesis Church. Once again, Bobby Paris.
My guest tonight is the beautiful Tammy Broxton Brown. She is mom to number 50, Kesney Brown. We have a super program here. I mean, it's outstanding above all. His coaches, Coach Bethel and Coach Mata, are the best. Tell me what you think about this program.
I think you are absolutely correct. This is one of the best programs in this part of Florida. We have some really good coaches. Coach Bethel, shout out to him. He's been with the program for a long time. He's, with the district even. But he does something really special for our young men. He cares about them, and it's more than just on the field, off the field. He will make house visits. He will call and make sure you're getting the grades. And I've had to call him several times, just to support Kesney, and he's done that, and I love him for it. And Coach Mata, got a chance to meet him, and I'm so glad he's on our team now. So he's welcome to our program and done a good job.
And, I watch these defensive players, and I think on every level, pro, college, whatever, it just seems high school, they have a special bond. They are kind of a brotherhood, and it's really kind of neat to watch them. And somebody, I think your husband said something about they have a bond and a mission. And I think that's true. Okay, Tammy, home life. This time of year, so much going on between August and December. Holidays, and then school and football and homecoming and whatever else we can cram into the calendar. What is your secret for keeping it together?
You have to have a calendar. Keep everything written down. Make sure you have your special notifications to remind you. And then I just have balance. We work all week knowing we have Friday night. We're going to be at the Citrus Bowl this game day. And we just keep a balance so that we get enough rest and we keep it moving on to the next thing.
Okay, and I think probably kudos to our booster club again. They feed them after every practice. But he's a big boy. Does he still come home hungry? And does he bring people with him?
He does. He comes home with some of that food. And yes, he's always hungry. He wants to eat. But yes, shout out to the Booster Club. They do some awesome things for the young men in the program. And we really appreciate all they do to support the Fighting Indians.
And you can be a part of that. You just have to call the high school. And Angela Banza is the president. And she would love to hear from you. Okay, how is Kesney in the classroom?
Well, he's making A's and B's so far this year. That's real good. And he's done very well, I must say. He's a very smart student. He likes to procrastinate, but he gets it done. And that's what's important. We need to make sure you're making A's and B's. Come home with a good report card. That's what I want.
That's good parenting. When you can help your kids or instill good priorities, that says it all, because there is life after football. Of course, they don't want to think that. But if you had 3 priorities, with number 1 being the most important for your children, what would those be?
Well, I must say number 1 is definitely going to be God. That's number 1. We are a church-going family, and Kesney was raised that way, so he knows that God has to be number 1. He's first. Then second, I would say family. You need to recognize that family is very important. You have a role in the family, and you need to do your part to help the family be supported. Okay. And then the third thing I would say, I hope I can do a little / education / whatever you're passionate about. I think that's really important.
Good. And support them through that passionate cause that they have. And, Tammy Day. If you had a Tammy Day, just what would that look like?
A Tammy Day would look like nothing on my schedule. I don't have to worry about carpooling. I don't have to worry about a game. I don't have to worry about anything but whatever I wanted to do. And to me, it would be relaxing, doing whatever I want to do.
Okay, don't call me. I'll call you.
Absolutely. Sounds good.
Okay. Tammy, if you could give just a little bit of advice to a high school athlete's mom, what would that be?
I think my advice would be to support your child in anything that they're passionate about and give them the opportunity to explore. Some students need to be able to play baseball and basketball to see which one they like. And you also need to be an ear for them. Sometimes they just want to be heard. They don't want you to fix it, but they just want to talk about it. And you need to let them know that you're here for them, and just be very supportive as a parent.
I think you could do well with some parenting classes, teaching parenting classes.
Oh, I don't want to teach anymore.
I get it. Oh, it's been such a pleasure spending time with you. And, of course, we wish Kesney a great year as he helps our Fighting Indians to a victorious season. Now you know how we end this. Go Fighting Indians!
Hi, Derek West here from the Genesis Church of Vero Beach. We are proud supporters of Fighting Indians football and Vero Beach athletics. We invite you to join us this Sunday at 9:15 for our services. If you can't join us in person, please visit us online at gcvero.com. Genesis Church of Vero Beach, place of love where honest men are known and unafraid to love the hardest home. Visit us at gcvero.com.
The Tripp family, GNC, and the Miracle Mile are crazy about the Vero Beach Fighting Indians and their fans. Joe and his staff have over 2 decades in the supplement business and know all about sports nutrition, along with vitamins, herbs, weight loss, and wellness products. GNC also offers meal replacements and testosterone support and tailors their products to meet individual needs. 562-2450.
Christian FM thanks Paris Family Chiropractic for their support. Dr. Matt Paris is a longtime resident of Vero Beach and a former quarterback for the Fighting Indians. Just like our Fighting Indians work hard for the win, Dr. Paris works hard for a patient's well-being. From proper alignment to good nutrition, Dr. Paris helps patients achieve the win. Paris Family Chiropractic, when the spine is in line, everything is fine. 299-4649 or parisfamilychiro.com.
Molinari Pools is a proud supporter of Fighting Indians football and Christian FM. A family-owned and operated business, the Molinari family, longtime members of this community. Joel Molinari, a former Fighting Indian, loves serving the Treasure Coast residents from pool cleaning to repairs to pool remodeling. Molinari Pools. Love people, love pools. 772-778-2633 or molinaripools.com.
The Fighting Indians Halftime Show is brought to you by Genesis Church. Let's join Gary Paris and the voice of the Fighting Indians, Paul Tipton.
Back here at the Citrus Bowl, where the Indians sit on a comfortable lead of 48-0. I don't know what you say in the locker room when you have that kind of lead going in the locker room. So let's find out. Let's go down to the sideline, check in with the guys. We start with Ronnie Self.
You don't say very much. You congratulate them on a great first half. They look at a little bit of film from the first half and check angles and those kind of things. And tell them come out, play another good hard second half, and play without mistakes. And I think I heard you guys say during the break, minus 24 yards of offense for the other team. So what more can you ask for?
Well, that's true. You could ask for minus 25. But,
that'd be about it.
That'd be about it. So, all right, Derek, what's Coach Jay saying to the offensive unit?
Well, the one word I wrote down on my pad here was the word engaged. Continuously at halftime, Coach Jay's talking about being engaged, the offense being engaged, what the players are doing, whether you're out on the field or you're not. Being engaged is part of being a team. I really like the way our offense played in the first half, obviously, but particularly it's nice to see in the locker room a bounce in the step of the offensive lineman. Even Paul Paris getting on his horse and going out there and blocking out that cornerback on that touchdown with Jacobs. Just really some good things. But I really, really like the way the offense is really gelling together as a collaborative team, regardless if they're out on the field or not, and being engaged. I think you're going to see them cheering on their friends and their guys that labor with them every single day at practice. So it's going to be a good opportunity for some guys that don't get to normally play in this half.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. Well, let's take a look at the Durfee's Heating and Cooling first half stats. And as Ronnie alluded to, total yards that I've been calling games that I've ever read that stat before like that, whether it be in a quarter or a half or in an entire game. But, minus 24 yards for the Vero Beach Fighting Indians, a total of 152 yards, 77 on the ground. Quincy Rogers, 5 of 65 for a touchdown. 145 through the air. Tyler Aronson is 6 of 8, 145 yards and 4 touchdowns. Jacobs has got 3 catches, 124 yards, 3 scores. Willard's got 3 catches, 19 yards, and a score. The Indians have 5 first downs. There's been a total of 8 penalties, but it's been some of the special teams and also the defense. So you've had an 85-yard punt return by Justin Woolard for a score. You also had Elijah Anderson with a pick 6, and so that has brought us to this point here of 48-0, Matt.
Well, yeah, the numbers tell the whole story. It's not like you can say, well, the game's a little closer than the score. No, it hasn't, actually. And Vero's done just about everything they've wanted to do. But other than what we've seen right here, we finally get to see the kickoff return team on the field.
And they're going to go with a short pooch kick. And Vero looked like they were prepared for that. And they'll down it right at the 40-yard line. So, again, Vero Beach really all night long has had really good field position.
They really have. With the first half, we're talking about they had 6 possessions. 5 of them took place in Port St. Lucie territory. And right here, they get the ball on the 40. So, once again, good field position. And I'm assuming that was not just a missed kick, but just trying to get the ball back. Why not? You're down 48-0. Trying to do something to get the ball back, and it doesn't go well for you. And Ryan Hall, one of our backup quarterbacks, was able to fall on it.
Our worst starting position tonight, the 28-yard line of Vero Beach. Quick strike over the left side is good. And Brock Thomas with the catch.
And that was Jake Whiteley on the
quarterback, which you kind of expected at this point.
He did a great job. He actually went to his second read on that, which was Brock Thomas, and that was nice.
Thomas, shuffle pass around the right side. Got a couple of good blocks. He'll get to the 45-yard line of Port St. Lucie, and that'll be enough for a first down.
Oh, nice job, Brock, coming in motion, doing that jet sweep, little toss in front, and perfect timing. Good block by our running back out there. That was Jaquan Jean, able to seal the end.
At the Jaguar 47, handoff, Jean off the left side, gets to the 45-yard line. I'll pick up 2.
Yeah, he actually got stopped probably behind the line of scrimmage, able to a strong and man, tough as he is. Look at the legs on that joker. He's got some tree trunks, and he was able to push it forward a little bit more and make some positive yardage out of it.
Jake Whiteley at quarterback here to start this second half with 4 receivers set. He fires, complete, Gwynn. And that'll be a Vero first down at the 35-yard line.
Tell you what, Jake Whiteley, you know what, he's not, his stature isn't that big, but man, he plays big out there. It's he's making the right reads. He hit Nate Gwynn, big 6'5" target, hits him right in the face mask where no one else is going to get it but him.
Shovel pass, left side to the 30-yard line. Another 5-yard gain for the Indians.
That was number 10. That's Keenan. Yeah, Jabeth Jr., 6'1", actually baseball standout as well. And, Coach Rahal likes to see that.
They'll pick up a 4. They'll call it 2nd and 6 at the Jaguar 31. Play action. Jabeth, wide receiver screen, trying to turn it upfield. He'll have an Indian first down as he gets close to the 20.
Wow, so what they did was they brought a receiver in motion. They faked the jet sweep to him. They get everyone moving in that direction and come right behind it and actually throw the screen out to Jabeth. And, Whiteley does a good job of getting it out there. He had pressure on him. Jabeth patiently watched it in, be able to pick up the first down.
8 minutes, 12 seconds in the quarter. Handoff, Gene off the right side, shakes one tackle, pushing his way towards the 15-yard line. Next week, the Fighting Indians host Westwood here at home. Game time's at 7 o'clock. And our coverage begins at 6 p.m. with Countdown to Kickoff presented by Cap's Pizza. That's week 4 of high school football. By the way, week 5, Miami Palmetto coming here to the Citrus Bowl. That's September the 23rd. Make sure to mark that one down. Handoff up the gut. And Gene, did he get there?
Yes, he did.
Wow. 15-yard run by Jaquan Gene.
Right up the gut. How about that? How about the blocking you've got from your center over there, number 53, Joey DeLuke. Then you got Helms. You got Paul Parasos in there, number 68. Try to get somebody. That was Helms. Try to get some of these other guys, different linemen. And, man, they open up the hole. And how about Gene finishing off with a dive at the last minute?
Lewis will get the kick through the uprights. And now 55-0, middle of the third.
Christian FM is proud to welcome a new business coming soon to beautiful downtown Vero Beach, Downtown Dipper. Downtown Dipper is a step back in time to an old-school ice cream shop, serving 24 flavors of hand-scooped ice cream, a family-owned and operated ice cream shop. Downtown Dipper, opening soon. Thanks to Downtown Dipper for supporting Christian FM and the Fighting Indians.
Christian FM can put this game on the radio thanks to the support of businesses like Chuck Bateman State Farm Insurance in Vero Beach. Chuck's goal is to create an atmosphere where customers can talk about what's important to them. He's also a huge supporter of our local chapter of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Chuck's phone is 567-1106 or chuckbatemaninsurance.com.
So the Indians travel down the field 60 yards. And they are able to get into the end zone thanks to a 15-yard run by Jaquan Gene and add another 7 on the board, make it 55-0. That is your McCall Insurance Agency scoring drive. This kickoff is going to go a little deeper around the 12. The 15. Pursuit by the Indians to the 20. And will be stopped around the 24-yard line.
Yeah, that was a good job. We got some guys that are backups in the kickoff team also.
Everybody's getting playing time.
Everybody's getting playing time tonight. And let me get a couple of names right there because that was number 96. Of course, we've called his name out a couple of times.
Rupert?
Rupert Taylor, yeah. He did a good job of looks like the guy, Port St. Lucie, was going to have the edge, and he actually good pursuit. Yeah, we got the...
I think they're actually doing the water break right now. Now we're in a running clock. They're going to stop it at 5 minutes and 30 seconds here. And Not sure we see first responders, medical staff.
Yeah, just see them going down. And one of them was very familiar.
Yeah, very familiar. Yeah.
My son Ryan Parrish is a graduate of Vero Beach High School on that crew, going to help someone out.
After the water break, 1st and 10, Port St. Lucie, the ball on the
All right, so a quick water break, get the guys back out on the field, start that clock again. Hand off right side. We'll get to the 30-yard line. Pickup of 6.
You know, that's
Felder on the carry.
Yeah, it's nice. You know, that was a good run, solid run. That was you know, you're not giving up. You're down this much, and it's like, hey, you give me the ball, let me do my thing. And hey, you tip your hat to a kid like that who's definitely got talent and has just been getting beat up, but no quit in his game.
They'll give him 7, make it a 2nd and 3. Felder again, cuts it back up in the middle, and they'll have a Jaguar first down.
Oh, nice little hesitation by Felder. Looked like we had him stymied, and if it wasn't for 23 for Vero coming up and making the stop, Keith Evans, senior defensive back, tripped him up. He had a nice little run there. He was able to pick up the first down.
Picked up about 8 on that carry. Put the ball at the 39-yard line of the Jaguars. Is in a running clock now, is well up over 35 points. Vero leading 55-0. Rodriguez hands off. Good tackle at the line of scrimmage. Now late flag
coming in, but
nope. Inadvertent flag.
That was Keith Evans again coming back from the defense. Looks like he's playing kind of a hybrid right now. It's a little defensive back, a little outside linebacker, but he is reading it. And they just did a little crisscross, actually. Faked a Felder one way, come back with another guy to the left, and didn't fake out Evans. He was able to make the play.
They're going to say no gain. 2nd and 10. This time up under center. Rodriguez turns, hands off.
Oh,
What
wow.
a play by the defensive end. Rupert Taylor. Wow. I mean, he was in there so fast. Almost about at the exchange between the quarterback and the running back.
That is impressive. And that young man is a sophomore. Wow. You know, when you see that, you see these guys that are getting in, and it's, you know, the juniors, the sophomores, and this is invaluable play time. It really is.
Well, and this isn't just mop-up time either.
No.
We've seen some of these guys earlier in the first half. 3rd and 12. Rodriguez, pressure, flips it out and shorts it as he was getting pressured. And, he thought he was about to get creamed there, and he maybe short-armed it just a touch.
Well, linebacker Jason Mercuri, number 51, junior, again, was right into his face, and he couldn't put anything on it. He had to just flick it out, and nothing on it.
Yeah.
Now it's 4th down, and it doesn't look like they're going to punt, which I don't know what the playbook says on this one. You're down 55-0. You're on your own 7-yard line. It's looks like they're gonna.
I think they'll probably just let the play clock run down, take a timeout, and then punt the ball away. I think is probably what they're gonna do. The goal right now is just to get the game over with.
But you don't want to injure anybody right now. There's take a timeout.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is not a district battle. Port St. Lucie plays in the 3 suburban, whereas Vero's playing in the 4 suburban. So this doesn't really do much other than points for your potential playoff if you got to go at large berth. That's all this really counts for.
That's right.
So
and if you're if you're Port St. Lucie, you're saying, hey, this is the teams that if you want to build your program, then if you're Coach Dent, you're saying, hey, we got to play the big dogs. If this is what Vero and a few teams like Treasure Coast have set the bars the last few years here at on this Treasure Coast, and if you want to match that, this is what you got to show your players. This is where we need to get to.
So they'll get set. Of course, part of the other thing too, Matt, and I don't know They'll probably obviously have somebody maybe try to punt this ball away. The punter actually got hurt in the first half.
He did.
He's actually sitting right here in front of us on the bench.
I don't see them trying to punt. They've got, yeah.
Unless they're going to do this quick punt like what we do sometimes. Nope, he's going to throw it. And McCurry there again almost had an opportunity for a pick there. Instead, it falls incomplete and turned over on downs.
A little surprised because I've seen Rodriguez throw the ball, and I don't know if it's just whether it's the ball's coming out a little wet or something like that, but it just doesn't look like it has anything on it.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't at all. All right, so Vero Beach, again, with great field position, will start at the Port St. Lucie 37-yard line. And they might get a play or two off here with the running clock. It's at 1:15. Shovel pass, left side, Banshoff turning it up, takes a shot, and there's going to be a flag coming in. Is this going to be a late hit out of bounds?
I don't know. I know we got one Indian's kind of grabbing his helmet like he did something, but nice little run by Banshoff coming around. He's
5-yard face mask.
Oh, 5-yard face mask, okay. Oh, not on us. No, wait, wrong way. He said, psych, I'm just kidding. It's really on them. So, first down.
So we're down the last few seconds of this quarter. And it'll basically, they're actually going to give him a first down. Whiteley on the handoff. Jean bouncing it to the left side. Or excuse me. That's Hillsman. And that's going to do it for the third quarter. We'll get set for the fourth quarter action. Vero Beach hosting Port St. Lucie. Vero with a comfortable lead of 55-0. We'll be back.
The Tripp family, GNC, and the Miracle Mile are crazy about the Vero Beach Fighting Indians and their fans. Joe and his staff have over 2 decades in the supplement business and know all about sports nutrition, along with vitamins, herbs, weight loss, and wellness products. GNC also offers meal replacements and testosterone support and tailors their products to meet individual needs. 562-2450.
This is Fighting Indians football on the Vero Nation Network, brought to you by Fatland Auto Group.
Okay.
Welcome back to the start of the fourth quarter here at the Citrus Bowl. Billy Livings Field, Paul Tipton along with Matt Paris, Ronnie Self, Derek West, and Don Dexter here tonight. Week 3, high school football. Fighting Indians hosting Port St. Lucie. And it has been a dominant performance by the Fighting Indians, leading 55-0. And the Indians looking at a first down and 5 from the 22. Jake Whiteley in at quarterback. Hillsman in at running back.
Second down, 6.
Hillsman, oh man, got hit immediately as the defensive end for Port St. Lucie able to slice in there for a tackle for a loss.
Yeah, that was a potential missed block on somebody.
Yes.
And you got, I think you see 1 or 2 starters in there on the offensive line. A lot of
well, we just don't have a lot.
Guys.
Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of depth on our line.
We don't.
A lot of our guys that start are still going to have to play. And that's not necessarily a bad thing either.
No, hey, getting them in shape.
Third down long. Whiteley, screen pass, left side. I believe that's Jabeth over there. And able to get past the 20-yard line, but it won't be enough for first down. So it's a 4th and short.
Yeah, there's a little screen out to the left side. We saw what Jabeth was fighting for one of those starting positions, and And we just see that, man, we got some talent at that receiving position. You got Jabeth out there that, man, he can start at just about any place. You got, who else do we have out there? Number 18. Well, we've seen, we've seen him, Brock Thomas. And he does a little bit of everything.
Handoff, Hillsman off the right side. He's got a little bit of a lane, shakes off a tackle, trying to spin. And he will get into the end zone from 20 yards out.
Man, we just talked about that. We talked about the offensive line doing their job, making some blocks, pulling around. I saw Paul Paris, one of our starters, still out there, comes around, makes a block. And, boy, up to my Hillsman, you see that. And, he's not a very big kid, but, man, he just stays on his feet.
He's strong.
And, wow, couldn't get him down and scampers in for, about a 20-yard? Yeah, nice. That's his second tonight.
Yep. And a freshman running back.
Yeah.
Thomas waits for the snap, puts it down, and Lewis puts it through the uprights. Make it 62-0. We'll be back.
Let that clock.
A family business for 25 years, Total Golf Cart supports the Fighting Indians and their fans. They're the authorized club card dealer and love to assist buyers to find the golf cart that best meets their needs. They offer both new and used club cars. And Total Golf Cart also has a full service department at 1140 South US 1 in Vero Beach or at TotalGolfCart.com.
Cap's Pizza and Pub, a proud sponsor of the Fighting Indians and Christian FM, serving Vero for over 35 years. Cap's offers Italian cuisine, including pizza, strombolis, calzones, hot and cold subs, plus wings. A family-owned and operated business, John and his staff are happy to serve. Cap's Pizza and Pub, 725 27th Avenue Southwest, Vero Beach, 772-770-2277 or capspizzamenu.com.
So Jonathan Hillsman scores from 20 yards out on the run. It's now 62-0. And the clock continues to tick here in this fourth period. Paul Tipton along with Matt Paris here tonight, week 3. And Vero Beach just too much for Port St. Lucie here tonight. The Indians shortly will start to turn their attention to Westwood. Simchek on the pooch kick. Good coverage by the Indians.
Yeah. Man, Simchek on the kick, little pooch kick right down the middle. And how about Keith Evans? Man, number 23. We've said his name now several times. Hey, when you get a chance to get in the game, let the coaches notice it.
Yeah, make your mark, man.
Yeah.
Well, for Port St. Lucie, they got to regroup. They actually play Sebastian next week. So they got to regroup, get refocused here. They've been riding a great momentum wave. And, sometimes this is the perfect wake-up call to go, you know what, maybe we got a little complacent.
Yeah, no doubt.
We've certainly said that about Vero a few times.
We got a new quarterback in for Port St. Lucie. I think we'll hear a mom going nuts about that one.
McKenna looking to throw, and he's going to throw a pick on his first pass attempt.
Yeah.
That's going to be intercepted by Vero Beach.
Number 42, Lorenzo Williams. We got him listed as a freshman.
Wow.
Wide receiver also.
Are you kidding me?
Wow. Well, Mom did get a little excited there for a second. I don't know if that was her mom. That was
6.5 to go in the ball game. Stick around. We'll have our Roy Bell Grading Services post-game show. Be interesting to hear the perspective of one of our coaches tonight and, our players of the game presented by Scott Sporting Goods. We'll step aside for a timeout at 6:27 here in the fourth quarter.
The Fighting Indians rely on teamwork, and so does Christian FM. One of those teammates is Scott Sporting Goods. Scott Sporting Goods features an array of sporting equipment, including clothes and shoes. They are also the ones that fit our Fighting Indians broadcast team with the Fighting Indians apparel. Located in downtown Vero Beach, 1407 20th Street. Their phone number is 778-0661. Thanks to Scott Sporting Goods.
The mission of the Fighting Indian is excellence, teamwork, and consistency. The same holds true for the McCall Agency, Inc., a local independent agency and broker and fourth-generation resident of Vero Beach. To learn more about their insurance products and risk management, Christian FM supporter Ron McCall can be reached at 772-473-6856, and their site is McCallagencyinc.com. Proudly serving the Treasure Coast since 1956.
This is Fighting Indians football on the Vero Nation Network. Brought to you by HBS Glass. Let's join Gary Paris and the voice of the Fighting Indians, Paul Tipton.
Back here in the fourth quarter, Ephraim White getting it at quarterback. Going to hand off. And a pickup of about 3 or 4 on the carry.
Number 11, E.J. White.
That's one more possession inside Port St. Lucie territory. 7 of 9, Paul.
And Terrence Frazier getting the carry tonight.
Tackle for Port St. Lucie, number 10, Justin Lindale.
White, oh man, did he take a shot. And Chuck, who's one of their receivers, also playing on that defensive end, shot through and made the tackle.
Yeah, that's one where that was a read, and when you see that defensive end coming up the field, you got to hand it off. And actually our guard pulling around made a good block on it, but you've got to hand that one off. That was a not a good read. Got a new quarterback in.
Hall hands off. Frazier pulling his defender with him. Will be just shy of the 40-yard line. It's going to be 4th down and about 7.
See what Coach wants to do here.
Ball on the 41-yard line, 4th down and 6.
Not going to punt.
Ball from the gun. Hands off. Actually, he'll take a loss of a yard, and that'll be a turnover on downs.
First possession tonight, guys, that we did not score on.
That is true. Well, I knew there would be something we could complain about.
8 for 8 on the previous drives that we were able to score on, and that one we did not. Of course, we got a few other. We got another touchdown from the defensive side as well.
So we're coming up 4 minutes remaining in this ball game. We'll have a Roy Bell Grading Services post-game show in just a few minutes. And finally wrap this game up, and then we'll turn our attention towards Westwood, which will be here next week at the Citrus Bowl. Handoff, shake of 2 tackles, but the 3rd and 4th cleaned it up. And it'll be about a loss of a yard, maybe no gain.
Yeah, we had Rupert in there. We had Rivers in there. They had him at first, but the rest of the crew was able to clean it up. Let's see if we get some of these other gentlemen that are in there.
2nd down and 11 from the 41 as we work our way towards 3 minutes remaining.
Oh!
And hit on the throw. It will fall incomplete.
Kamani Mason, linebacker, junior, he gets in there and puts a clean hit on young man from Port St. Lucie and was able to get it off. But, yeah. Man, another one of those where you just, whoo!
Pressure's coming.
It's exciting. I mean, this is, it's 2:20 and the game's obviously out of hand, but not for these guys. These guys, it's like, hey, I want to go make a play.
Yeah, sure.
100%. I love it.
2.5 to go. Looking at a 3rd down and 11 for Port St. Lucie from their 41. Shovel pass. Trying to work the left edge. And good pursuit.
That was
great pursuit.
Oh, man. Parker Goddard was able to get around. Rupert right now is screaming for a holding because he literally was getting held the whole time. But thank goodness they did not. Sorry, Rupert. They did not call that. And that's not something you want to call holding on when you're down that much.
So it's now 4th down for the Jaguars. Loss on the play. It's going to be 4th and 13. From the 39. 90 seconds to go. Looking to throw. Fires downfield.
Oh, it made the catch.
Made the catch. What a great catch by Griffin.
McKenna's pass completed on the play to number 2.
And the Jaguars will get a first down.
Yeah, just as a go route along the sideline. We had 2 Indians that actually, I think, kind of neutralized each other. They actually bumped each other on the interception, and the ball landed in Port St. Lucie's lap. And both of them are looking at each other like, oh, gosh, that was my interception.
Picked up 30 on that play at the 30 of Vero Beach. First down and 10 with 44 seconds to go. Looking to fire again over the middle of the field. Shorts this one. Incomplete. And
that should do it, Paul.
Probably will do it. You
That'll
don't
do
really
it.
have to take another snap here.
McKenna's pass intended on the play for number 4, Robert Tatum, incomplete. Second and 10.
See what he says.
If Coach Dent will, he probably, I don't know.
He doesn't have to.
He doesn't have to.
And if he does, he does. You got a young quarterback.
That's fine. That's his prerogative. I mean, look.
Yeah, I think he would. Why
10
not?
seconds
Air one
to
out.
go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Over the middle of the field. And there's a fight for the ball. What are they going to say?
Touchback, interception. Looks like that was number 35 for Vero to end the game.
That is Baskin.
Yeah.
So, how fitting is that? A solid, unbelievable defensive performance tonight by the Fighting Indians ends with another interception by the Indians tonight. And the Indians go 3-0 with a 62-0 win over Port St. Lucie. We'll be back in just a moment. You got the Roy Bell Grading Services postgame show coming up. This is Fighting Indians football.
Thanks to Roy Bell Grading Services for sponsoring Fighting Indians football and the Fighting Indians post-game show. Roy Bell Grading Services is locally owned and operated, providing services to this area for over 37 years. Roy Bell Grading Services offers services such as land clearing, grading, laser grading, and complete site work.
Hi, my name is Chase Bell. My family and I support Fighting Indians football and Christian FM. Go Indians!
No job too small or too big. Roy Bell Grading Services. We roll the earth. 772-473-4559.
Durfee's Heating and Cooling, a longtime friend and supporter of Christian FM. Durfee's Heating and Cooling offers air conditioning repairs, maintenance, and new installations. Family owned and operated, serving the Treasure Coast area. Durfee's Heating and Cooling, 772-971-5884.
Christian FM can put this game on the radio thanks to the support of businesses like Chuck Bateman State Farm Insurance in Vero Beach. Chuck's goal is to create an atmosphere where customers can talk about what's important to them. He's also a huge supporter of our local chapter of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Chuck's phone is 567-1106 or chuckbatemaninsurance.com.
Welcome to the Roy Bell Grading Services postgame show. As Vero Beach moves to 3-0 on the season with a dominant performance tonight over Port St. Lucie, 62-0. And it was pretty much from the word go that defense stepped up, and then the offense benefited from the short porch that the defense provided all night long and allowed Vero Beach to just really turn on the jets and really put a nice performance together. All right, we're going to head down to the field. Ronnie Self is standing by with one of our assistant coaches. That is Brian Rahal. Ron?
Coach Rahal, 7 out of 9 possessions. The offense started on the other team's side of the field. Pretty good defensive performance.
Yeah, I think Coach Jay should give us a big thank you, maybe a couple extra cookies and pregame meal next week. Yeah, it was a nice job defensively. We had a good week of practice. We felt like we were dialed in pretty good to what they were going to try to do, and we've had a good game plan of how to attack it, and I think it showed up today.
And what was even better was the offense only had one possession, two possessions that they didn't score on tonight.
Yeah, that's nice. You know, we rely on them a lot, so it's nice to do our part, and feel like we've been getting after it a little bit these last couple weeks, and if we could put it together like we did tonight, then a lot of good things could happen.
Special teams look pretty good. You got 4 interceptions tonight? 3? How many did we say at breakfast this morning?
You wanted 3. I think we got you 4. I owed you one from.
You owed me 2.
Okay, I owed you 2. I still owe you one more. Yeah, we snuck a 4th one in on that last play, and I thought we got it almost 2 plays before. I had a little freshman safety out there, and he went up, and I'm not sure. I got to go back and look at film and see what happened. But, yeah, it was exciting. Those guys, they work hard in practice. We had a linebacker get a pick, I think the drive before, which was awesome because he works hard. So, and then safety just got a pick on that last drive, and he works hard too. So, it's nice to see that the hard work for those guys pays off, and they get a little reward for it.
It is, and offensively, you had the same thing happen to the offensive side of the ball. They got to play a lot of guys tonight, and they performed pretty well also.
Yeah, it's awesome. They work hard in practice. We got great practices, dialed in, focused, and a lot of good things happening. We put a big emphasis on special teams this year, and so far it's looking pretty good. We got to keep working on it and keep putting an emphasis on it because Coach preaches all the time it's a 3-phase game, and you got to win it all 3 phases if you want to be successful. So that's what we're trying to do, and on all 3 phases of that game.
We did, and we missed an extra point, but we also scored a 2-point on a bad snap, but we scored a 2-point conversion there, so that helped us out too.
Yeah, I think it was by design, right? I think if you ask Coach Paris, he's a special teams guy up there. I think we did that one by design to make up for it. But excuse me. But yeah, it's been good. Our special teams are going to continue to get better, and we got to continue to work on them. We're not perfect yet, but we're going to continue to develop on that side of the ball. Defense is playing fast. We try to get our offense the ball back as much as we can, and when we could do that, we know that they're going to move the ball and score a lot of points.
Well, you did that tonight, Coach, and we want to congratulate the coaches for getting the boys ready and the boys for responding tonight for another victory for Vero.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I just want to talk to see if Matt's up there right now. I want to see if I look skinny in this camo. Someone told me if I wear camo that I could disguise a little bit and look a little skinnier. So I'm not sure if he has his glasses on up there or not, but
tell him I can barely
he's getting
see
a good
him.
look at me, and he's giving me the thumbs up that I look skinny.
He said he could barely see you, but it's form fit, Matt, the kind you like because it makes you look thin.
Tell him I appreciate that. Love you guys. Always fun to talk to you and be around you. Thank you for all your support. Fantastic people. Love you guys. And just want to say hello to everybody out there at the Vero Nation. We love all you.
All right, back to you guys.
All right, that's Brian Rahal, our secondary coach, and you can tell. I mean, it was a good night. He got his crew got 4 interceptions on the night, and always happy when the defense can do that for sure. All right, I think we're going to head back down to the field now, where Derek West has our Scott Sporting Goods Players of the Game. DW.
All right, down here with Tyler Aronson. Tyler, and a half of work. It must feel good to have 4 touchdown passes tonight.
Yes, sir. It was a great week of preparation on both sides of the ball and special teams. We came out with a bunch of energy, and the defense got stops and gave me the ball back, and I'm super grateful to have all these guys. We've worked super hard for it, and everyone deserves it. So,
absolutely. I listened to the coaches last week in practice talking about the offensive line and gelling and be able to get into NASCAR when we get 7 yards. It must be good, a good feeling seeing particularly on the touchdown to Jacobs, to seeing our offensive line pull out there and crack back on that corner.
yes, sir. I feel like we're all building better chemistry day by day. I feel like we all want to play for each other, and every day we can see differences, and I'm super excited. The end result's definitely going to be cool, but I think there's a lot of good stuff ahead. So,
how much do you feel like you're learning really now? I know coming from one school to another and learning different offensive systems can be kind of a challenge, but it seems like you're not only learning it, you're really excelling it. Talk about the benefits of playing in Coach Jankowski's system.
Honestly, I'm super grateful for Coach Jay. A big reason for why I chose Vero Beach. We have a good relationship off the field too. I feel like we're able to bond pretty well, and he talks to me before he calls his plays. He wants to call plays that I'm comfortable with, not only that he feels like is going to work. So I feel like we're building a bond on and off the field every day, and I'm super grateful to have him, and I'm learning a lot. Super excited.
Well, thank you so much, Tyler, for being our offensive player of the game. Go celebrate with your teammates. All right. Down here with my friend Matthew Bacon. I was so excited last week, Matthew, that I texted your dad right after the play where I said, that was a safety. That was a safety. Talk about your play this week. It must feel good to see a big goose egg and 62 points for us. Talk about your play.
It was all just hard work, really. We've been practicing all week. We got Kez on the D-line, Deuce on the D-line. It's a whole team thing. We've been working hard, and Coach B's best you can get.
It seems like there's a lot of confusion for offenses that we play because we're so multiple in the way that we defend. Talk about a little bit of advantage that you guys have had this year in terms of being confusing to offense. Have you noticed the confusion on the line?
Well, Coach Mata has done a really good job with the defense, making a hard place to read and a bunch of switches and practicing that all the time. Makes the offense hard for it to read.
And our offense tonight, we scored 8 touchdowns on 9 drives, but a big key to that was you guys getting the ball back to them. It must feel good to see the offense and the defense working together.
Only played a few drives, but every drive was, making a stop, and it paid off for the offense.
Absolutely. Well, I know your dad's proud of you. I know your family's proud of you. We're proud of you. Go celebrate with your teammates, all right?
All right, there you go. Matthew Bacon, Defensive Player of the Game, along with Tyler Aronson, our Offensive Player of the Game, presented by Scott Sporting Goods. We're going to step aside. We'll come back with more of the Roy Bell Grading Services postgame show.
Thanks to Roy Bell Grading Services for sponsoring Fighting Indians football and the Fighting Indians post-game show. Roy Bell Grading Services is locally owned and operated, providing services to this area for over 37 years. Roy Bell Grading Services offers services such as land clearing, grading, laser grading, and complete site work.
Hi, my name is Chase Bell. My family and I support Fighting Indians football and Christian FM. Go Indians!
No job too small or too big. Roy Bell Grading Services. We roll the earth. 772-473-4559.
A septic system is only as good as the installation and maintenance. Reliable Septic is the name known along the coast for being the professionals who install and service these systems for both residential and commercial uses. They'll determine the on-site needs and design considerations for a complete wastewater treatment system, thanks to Reliable Septic Service. 772-562-4242.
Jeremiah's Italian Ice loves our Vero Beach Fighting Indians. Jeremiah's offers over 40 flavors of Italian ice and 2 flavors of soft serve ice cream. The showcase of the menu is layering the 2 together for their gelati. Located off State Road 60 in the Marshalls Plaza, Jeremiah's Italian Ice. Live life to the coolest.
Welcome to the Fighting Indians postgame show, presented by Roy Bell Grading Services.
Well, the Fighting Indians, with a dominant performance tonight, win 62-0. Now 3-0 on the season. Let me just throw some numbers at you real quick. These stats are brought to you by Durfee's Heating and Cooling. And in the first half, folks, I am not making this up. I don't know that I've ever read a stat like this before. In the first half, Port St. Lucie was negative 24 on total yardage. They finished the game on the plus side with 15 yards. Okay, there's a positive. All right. Something to build on. And I really don't mean to make jokes about it. I mean, I really do feel bad for the team. I really do. And I hope that, this will just be one little bump in the road for them. Them going forward, I wish them the best of luck of the season. This doesn't define your season. You got a chance to get ready and play your district ball games and think about the playoffs still. That's all still in focus there. So hopefully they won't let this, be the major hole in the road that takes them off course. It really shouldn't.
No.
So for the Fighting Indians tonight, they finish up with a total of 321 yards. It broke down into 124 yards on the ground, 197 through the air. Vondravius had another stellar performance in really a half a play. He had 3 catches, 124 yards, 3 touchdowns. Justin Woolard had 3 catches for 19 yards and a touchdown. And also, Tyler Aronson on the night, he only played a half, as Derek talked about earlier. 6 of 8 for 145 or 145 yards, 4 touchdowns. Jake Whiteley went 7 of 7 for 52 yards. And of course, Quincy Rogers, solid night, 5 carries, 65 yards, and a touchdown. It was a great all-around performance by the Fighting Indians tonight. Obviously when you have a 62-0 win like that, you expect it to be dominant like that. Of course, you had some special teams with Justin Woolard on a punt return. You had 4 interceptions on the night. So it's just, Matt, from the word go, the Fighting Indians came to play.
They certainly did. And how about back-to-back shutouts to Palm Beach Gardens?
Yeah.
Then you come right back to Port St. Lucie. And like we said all night, the short porches that Vero had to work with. And, if they didn't, the numbers would have really been gaudy. And you talk about the stats. The most impressive thing about those stats right there, Paul, is that you read them without glasses. Man, very proud of you, dude. That was good.
I have them right here, just in case.
Right there.
I have them just in case.
But no, Paul, it is. It's everything you talk about clicking. And one things I loved what Tyler Aronson said about him and Jankowski, building that bond, not just on the field, but off the field. And as Tyler gets more comfortable in this system, wow. Yeah. He's a special kind of guy, and when we start seeing the physical and that mental and everything.
Westwood. Now, Westwood was unable to get their game in. They were supposed to play last night against, I think, Blanche Ely, and because of weather, they ended up canceling the game, so they haven't played. So basically, they got a bye week. So their focus will be totally on getting ready for Vero Beach, and they'll look at this score, and they're going to go, all right, we got to get ourselves ready to play.
Oh, everyone does. When you come to Vero, that's the name of the game. Unfortunately, Blanche Ely, that's a good team. Yeah. And so that would give us some really good film on Westwood that we don't get a chance to see.
Yep.
But Westwood, they come into us without the injuries of this week also. But, we'll see. Coaches, we'll have some film on them. They're, our southern neighbors, and, it'll be a good match. They've been playing some really good football the last couple of years.
I think, Matt, the real key is going to be this. Vero Beach, let's take care of business, play your kind of football, and you should be able to take care of Westwood. Okay, I'm not trying to disrespect anybody, but let's just call it like it is. What we can't do is we can't look ahead to what's coming the week after, which is going to be Miami Palmetto.
That's right. No, you're 100% right, Paul. It's you've got a big opponent, and it has nothing to do with districts. It's just bragging rights, and it's really where you stand in the state. But you've got to play one game at a time, one play at a time, stay focused. And that's one of the things I saw tonight. It was really neat that it looked like that. Defense 100% stayed focused. Our offense did great. The penalty count, I don't know how many penalties we had, but it was nothing near to what we had.
No, we ended up with a total of 8 penalties on the night, so that's much better than what we've done so far.
Yeah. And so we got to continue best performance. We got to continue doing that as well, getting the penalties down, and just like you said, focus on Westwood, do your thing, and but focus on Westwood.
Yeah. Don't look ahead, knowing you got that game sitting on the horizon. That game's going to be there no matter what.
That's right.
So make sure you take care of business first, and then you can turn your attention to Miami Palmetto. All right, well, hey, it was good having you up here, man.
Enjoyed it, as always.
I'm sure you didn't have to be out there in the weather.
That's what I told the boys down there. Sorry about your luck.
Yeah. Well, all you had to do was work it out with UCF to, get it scheduled
just right. Friday night game.
Yeah. All right. Hey, we want to thank our executive producer, John Hamilton. Our director and field engineer tonight's been Stephen Tipton. Our video director is Jay Kendall. Director assistant is Devin Ingram. Our cameras, Kenneth Loans, Ian Salvatore, and Keegan Ingram. Stats are Don Dexter and Derek West. Interviews, Bobby Paris and Matt Paris. Sidelines tonight, Ronnie Self and Derek West. And analysts tonight, this guy over here, Matt Paris. Hey, we'll see you next week. Vero Beach will have Westwood here at the stadium, 7 o'clock kickoff time. 6 p.m. begins our coverage with Countdown to Kickoff. As always, go Indians. Good night.